Greetings, one and all, to Tenno O'Clock, episode 394. I am your regular thing, Xeno. That is... I can't see my hand. That is your regular VTuber,
I keep hitting things.
Loz. Good job.
Hitting things and I can't see them.
And we are joined by the supporter, Thaylien. Say hello, Thaylien.
I'm here too.
Thaylien. Cool. Right. So we're going to start as we start every week, which is with emblems. I think Loz is laughing. I'm not sure. It's cutting out on Discord.
Really?
Yeah, no, you're fine. I think I saw the audio fine. So why were you laughing?
I've seen how the topic for today is structured.
Yeah.
Story time with Xeno. Right, let's move on.
Okay. Oh, emblems. Hit the emblem button.
What? Why not? Pow. Why, pow. Pow!
Oh, right. There you go. Thaylien, do your job. You know the job. Do your job.
I think I'm going to go with Xeno's Fine today. Loz's Fine is graphically quite nice, but at the same time, the cross Tonfas and Clem is just...
I think those are Skarnas.
Are they Scars? Oh,
No, those aren't Skarnas.
Well, they're not Tomfas.
Oh, they're pennants.
Yes, they
even
are.
better.
Yes.
Two-handed katanas. Perfect.
Yeah. Two-handed katanas. Okay.
Because you can't wield two-handed katanas in one hand, therefore you can't have two of them.
Therefore, my emblem
That's
wins.
That's what you need. You need the new Corpus double blade for that.
The new Corpus double? Oh, right, yeah. Right.
Yes.
Well, if you wish to win 75 platinum, for your chance to do so, go into the description below where you can find the votes for the polls for this week with all the questions and everything. This week's emblems. Fill it in. Make sure you get your in-game name right, because if you get it wrong, no one's a winner and everyone's a loser. And you could have... So you're in for a chance to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice. Loz is doing hand gestures. Okay, sorry, I just want to quickly check that I didn't need to do a giveaway this week. Loz, stall.
What? Why am I stalling? Right, Thaylien. When was the last time we had you on, Thaylien?
Over a year ago.
Over a year ago. Yeah, basically anything before 2020, just add a year to your memory. That's what happens.
It's just, honestly, before COVID.
Yeah.
That's the last time I was on. Which shows that
For
you
the
should have me
dark
on more,
times.
because look what happens if you don't have me on.
What we always lose our memory, so we can't remember what happened.
Well, you didn't have me on, and everybody lost a year of their memories.
Ah, right. That could be
Cool. So we do actually have some winners.
Good.
For platinum.
Oh, okay.
So for PC we have Nazuth.
Hey.
For PlayStation 4 we have Big Beard Bear 93.
Big Beard
For
Bear.
Xbox, we have Assassin 22. And then for Nintendo Switch we have Tucker Wins.
Tucker wins.
He does win.
Definitely wins.
No, sorry. Rigged.
What do you mean?
No,
Well,
favoritism.
to be fair,
Tucker-based
according to
favoritism.
this, Tucker's the only one that actually
Clearly Tucker-based
entered in.
favoritism.
Yeah, Tucker's the only one that actually entered for Switch.
Well, if I was on the Switch and I was asked for some platinum, how else do I get that platinum again, Xeno? Or chance to win it?
Okay, go to the description below. You'll find the polls. Go into the polls. Fill out the polls. You can just freaking hell. You can just choose, put your in-game details in, choose a winner for the platinum, and then just leave the rest of it blank. I don't really care. I'll be sad though. And then there you go. Job done. Job's a good one. End it, Loz.
Yes! Job is a good one.
Job is a good one. So
Yes,
I concur.
I need to quickly make this like that. There we go. Sorry,
Yes.
I need to make sure that I have a copy of the names before I actually continue on. Right, so yeah, that's platinum giveaway, Dojo Dusting, pretty much slam that in there on the side. Also Dojo Dusting related, I'm going to be pausing, or I'm going to look at pausing the Patreon, basically the Patreon itself, because right now, because production is so much slower with everything, Arbiters has become whenever there's something interesting to talk about Warframe, that I don't feel comfortable having people submit money towards something that's not being worked on. So I'm going to pause it. I want to make sure that everyone still has access to the rewards they currently have. I don't want all of a sudden loads of people getting kicked off the Discord. And then when alternative to Arbiters, like the War Council comes in, then I'll start it up again. But yeah, I just don't feel right. Like, you know, oh yeah, give me like $200 a month and you get like one video back. It doesn't feel right. So,
well, as long as you're working on things, surely.
I'm gonna pause it.
Or can't you swap it to like per video?
No.
I don't think that's how Patreon works. Patreon works as a monthly subscription.
There was a thing per video, but it's really jank. If memory serves. Like, sometimes it would also include things like 10 o'clock and stuff, and it would start taking money from people that are like, you know, oh yeah.
I'm not sure. I think you need to look into this because I'm pretty sure people. I remember listening.
To be fair, I'm still like, you know, I'll just pause it. I mean, the thing is, there's money in the account already, just piled up.
Okay. Never mind. Hey, moving on.
All right, so that's it for Dojo Dusting. I can't think of anything else to say. Loz?
I can. I want to know when Xeno's 10 o'clock OnlyFans opens up.
Jesus freaking, why even?
You asked me on.
Yeah, I did. That was my mistake, wasn't it? Clearly. Right, so moving on to the War Report. Wait, where's Loz gone?
I just came to check something.
He's moved on to the War Report.
I'm on to the War Report. It's over here somewhere.
I thought you were gonna just come on going like doing some weird crazy dance, and I said the War Report, and then like, nope, he's gone.
That's too much thought.
You need a risky business slide. That's what you need.
Right.
I need things. Maybe I should change different pieces of software so I can. There's software where you can have things, and I could pick up like steak. I'd like steak.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
you can't
War
eat
Report.
it. Yeah, War Report. Fair point.
Well, this is going to.
I don't think, apart from the fact that there was a dev stream, I don't know if there was anything else that's happened this week in Warframe.
Oh, well, there's not much going on at the moment from what I can see. It's just the same old stuff at the moment because obviously we're now waiting. Well, we are in the ultimate lull, I guess, because the content will probably be coming before the end of June. Then TennoCon is at the start of July. That's the last dev stream for now, till after TennoCon. And so it's just like a kind of a carry on for a few bits. You know, most of the points are in the dev stream, so not much for you to say.
Right. Okay, so yeah, not a whole lot to go over with the War Report, so we're just going to go into the topics, realizing I should probably be taking down any of the times. And I had a job.
You have like,
one job, like
your one job now.
My one job.
You don't have any jobs left now.
I fucked up. Right. Right, so doing the dev stream. Part of me wants to like leave this to Thaylien, because like Thaylien actually wrote these notes. Thaylien does an amazing, but like at the same time, I'm kind of suspecting that Thalien's putting some language in here that's just going to completely break my brain, as it normally does.
What? No. Would I do that?
Hang on a sec.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, no more silly words.
Okay, fine. Loz is cutting me off. It's fine. So our topics for this topic 1 is dev stream 155, also known as home stream number 15, and then topic 2 is modular Archwing. Will it happen or not? So this is kind of off the back of the dev stream as well. So so topic 1. Obviously, we are going over the dev stream that happened on Monday, the what?
No, well, no, it's just maybe we could make a joke about dev streams because we're actually getting pretty good when they would come out on Friday. We would watch them, record this, and it comes out the following Monday. This is the latest it could be because it came out a week before this episode's coming out, but this is when we got to do it.
So, dev stream 155. So, dev stream dusting. TennoCon is July 17th. And sadly, Loz and I are not going to it, but we will be watching.
We are going to it digitally.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Loz, you're the only one that's digital right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Soon all shall be digital, like me.
Why? Are you going to buy everyone Valve indexes?
No.
I'm not going to say no.
Please.
I'm not going to say no.
Well, no, I wouldn't because there's potentially like they're going to announce a new one soon. So no.
What, during E3?
Maybe. Who knows?
On a random tangent, have you heard that Nintendo is supposed to be announcing the Switch Pro pre-E3?
Yes. I haven't been waiting for this for years. Literally ever since
when
the first bloody thing came out.
When everyone stuck inside it, like, well, I might as well just play on my PC. Anyway, right.
I committed to the wait.
Gara Prime is live on all consoles, but you know that. The Warframe subreddit reached. I was going to say hit and reached at the same time. Reached 500,000 members.
Sweet.
A more comprehensive policy has been released to tell fan artists what they can and cannot actually sell if it has Warframe content in it. This should actually encourage smaller artists to sell their merch by spelling out what is and isn't allowed by the copyright.
Has anyone actually had a look into that? See what it is like? What's it specifying?
No, but I'm actually really interested, and I actually quite like this because a lot of bigger companies, they keep it like really vague and like they'll just randomly crush things.
Yes, when they see it, yeah.
You know, like what was the oh god, there was one thing recently where a ROM website was suing Nintendo because Nintendo was caught using the ROMs that they were hosting on their website to resell their own games. Yeah,
it's a bit of a weird thing, that I remember this. I think it was on the NES anniversary, like little pocket thing, plug-in thing. And they looked into the Mario Brothers 1 ROM, and it wasn't even the original one from Nintendo because it actually had a fix, which was done by somebody who actually put his name in it or something. It's like, wait, that's my fix, you know? So.
Yeah. That actually had a massive backlash, though, and the guy ended up having a horrible fine or something like this.
Yeah, because it's a very massive grey area because he's adding to their intellectual property. I still think there's something in it, but, you know, it's a massive grey undiscovered area, you know.
Well, it's like, you know, who can pay for more lawyers?
Yes, that's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Always has been.
I would have just taken it as like a point of pride that, you know, Nintendo didn't have their own thing, they just took yours, you know.
Yeah.
Moving on.
New official merch will be released with TennoCon, including the already previewed Floof toys, a new T-shirt, and statuettes.
Yes.
I don't remember them saying this.
Oh, yes. They're like statuettes. They're like statues, but smaller. And they'll include one that looks like the Excalibur Noggle.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh god, yeah.
I must buy this. Clem Noggle.
Loz loves his Noggles.
Clem Noggle.
He's got 27 clams. He says he doesn't have any, but he actually has 27. He's gonna get rid of all the clams and replace them entirely with Excaliburs.
Do you see this? Right. This is actually almost picture perfect to my orbiter. You see in the background? Do you see Noggles?
No.
No Noggles.
You have them behind the camera.
Yeah, Noggles are very small and out of the way.
Discovered my secret. If I turn the camera around, there's just Noggles everywhere.
Anyway,
it's like any streamer's bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like there's a clean path. That's the port view of the camera, and everything around that is a complete mess. And I'm not gonna lie, I may have this happening right this very second. You might not be able to see the mess.
The Simpsons Homer when he got thin. He's got it all clipped up behind his back.
Yeah. Anyway, right. This is a Parvos update. This update will be released before TennoCon, so before July 17th. There will be a dev workshop coming before this update because it will be coming with the melee and the gun balance update that will slightly nerf melee and provide a large amount of upgrades and mods for guns. This change is built around the Steel Path stats, balancing the changes for the highest base level of the game's missions rather than the lowest. Many of the new mods will apparently also drop from Steel Path missions. Oh, that's what they were banging on about during Arbiters.
Oh.
Yes. That's what we were banging on about during Arbiters.
That is what you were banging on about during Arbiters, which will go out 2 days ago. Yes.
But can we just cover this point? I just think it's so stupid. It's like, right, we need to make guns work in Steel Path, because what happens in Steel Path? Oh, the melee meta just dominates everything. Oh, okay, what can we do?
Yeah.
Well, we'll put some interesting new mods in that provide all these extra damage bonuses for guns. Great, that'll be great. So we'll let people get them so they can do Steel Path with guns. No, we'll put them on the Steel Path so that you go do the Steel Path, complete the Steel Path, and go, oh look, I got some mods that might have been useful to complete Steel Path with.
I'm not opposed to this. Because otherwise it's like, oh, we're giving you your top level raid gear before you actually start doing raiding. I'd much rather the sensation of, I've done this, I'm being rewarded for the thing I'm doing.
Right, but I prefer having something to use my magical thing on instead of just going, yes, I have received the Demon Slayer 10,000, the ultimate weapon that one-shots everything in the game, and now there's no content for me to use it on.
I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, it's all about checks and balances. Like right now, we go do anything in the normal star chart, and we utterly destroy it. Like I remember when I first picked up Hildren.
Oh, I wish I had a clock. There you go.
No, stop it.
Oh, I do have a clock.
Picking on me.
Sweet.
You're picking on me. It's not on your wrist.
Yeah, anyway. It is. You can't see this digital amazingness that's right here. I got time. You're right. Go.
The Emperor's
My point is, when I actually picked up Hildren for the first time, I never had to use your abilities because I was just slaughtering everything in Fortuna, right? And I still feel disconnected from Warframes like Hildren that came out. I have no idea how to play them.
That's a fair point, but hey,
only
if you want to think about the difference on this update, I'm actually more interested in what they say about the changes, because rather than just the mods, the thing that holds up melee weapons is all the systems behind them, like the combo counter, like follow through, like all of these other things. So if they're giving actual changes to primary and secondary weapons,
I didn't think they were. I thought they were doing a melee nerf, and then they're buffing those through mods.
Well, they said through mods, but they also did say upgrades. That's why I put it in quotes in the thing. There's going to be primary and secondary upgrades and mods. So they're doing changes that don't just rely on mods.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's the thing. I thought it was entirely the buff on the gun side was just going to be some mods. So if there's these upgrades coming, we'll see. Okay.
That's why I'm cautiously hopeful. I'm kind of thinking if there are actual changes to primary and secondary weapons, they'll probably never be as in-depth as I actually want them to be, but very few things ever are.
Do you want to move on? Do you want to? Okay.
We got lots to cover.
With the update, will come a mini quest for the Vent Kids in Fortuna called Wave Rider. There will also be a digital comic with contribution from fan artist Chicken Draws Dogs, who has been featured on 10 o'clock several times.
Have they been a guest on 10 o'clock yet?
No, I have yet to be able to get them on.
Because I remember their art, which is weird. I remember people for art. I don't remember if they've been on.
Yeah. There will also be new Parazon mods, new weapons, and ephemera.
Sweet.
The ephemera were... Sorry, the ephemera were... Yeah, the new ephemera were shown off. And there are apparently two types, energy-based and orbiting objects-based.
Oh yeah, those were pretty cool, actually.
I gotta be honest, like, I didn't like how in your face the energy skirt was.
Well,
it was
in
like
the words of Austin Todd, you're always wrong.
Are you drunk?
No, he just has to use that particular voice whenever it says the awesome Todd.
Evidently. Right. But I
still
don't know, like well, what was your thoughts on it, Loz?
I like the
Regardless of
no, because right. Oh, what was it? There was something. I think there was something they said about just before this that made me actually appreciate these ones over. Didn't they say something about a seasonal one or something? There was something seasonal that they said let's add that permanently, and I was just like, ugh.
Oh, the leopard's headgear.
Yes, they were making mention of let's make that permanent or something, and I was just like, ugh. And then you see this, and you say it might be gaudy, it might be ostentatious, or maybe a bit too big. I don't know. We'll have to see how it works on Warframes and things. But yes, you see, that's why. It's like how I made that. I'm starting to mellow a bit, and I sort of have realizations and gives and takes. Like how with the Call the Tempestari quest, I was like, I didn't like the quest at first, and I'm like, wait a minute, they made this in 3 months. That's pretty cool for 3 months, you know. I balance. I'm like, no, that's all right, you know, that's what I'd expect for a quest within that time frame. So I'm mellow, and that's the same for this. I'm like, yeah, it looks a bit gaudy and weird and flashy and probably rotating and a bit like, ooh, look at that. But it's not a storm cloud above people's heads now, is it?
Little snow flurries.
I don't know. I wonder if this is going to be just as bad as a snow cloud above.
No, but it's
people's
thematic.
head.
I don't mind. I don't mind if something. I don't remember if there's firecrackers, as long as the firecrackers are shooting off words like saying Tenno scum in Grenier over people's heads. At least that's in-game thematic. Unlike candy canes.
I'll totally give you candy canes and the rabbit ears and stuff like that. I think one of the problems I have that maybe you don't have with the cloud over the head is my eyes are always drawn to it, right? It's like, you know, you go to a supermarket, there's a yellow sign for a price, your eyes are instantly drawn to it.
Yeah, better eyes.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately I'm not from Naruto.
I don't know.
I don't play eyes.
Right. I think this is what will happen though: is it'll get released and you'll see lots of people using it, and then 8 months down the road there'll be more ephemeras, and there'll be occasional 1 or 2 people doing it. Like, oh, and it will draw your eyes still, of course, and you'll be like, oh, that person's wearing the ephemera. Then you'll move on. Oh, that person's also wearing it. Then you move on.
To be fair, not all of them will choose absolutely eye-smarting colours either. So these are energy-based ones, so they'll probably choose darker colours to make them more aesthetic, and it won't look so eye-catching.
I did like the giant energy orb stuff, though.
The floaty things.
Yeah, I much prefer those.
I'm actually a little disappointed in those because they only orbit around the centre of mass. They don't actually orbit around anywhere else.
True, but they're not giant and massive, and the Gara one is just like, Jesus Christ, how many little crystals do you need? Have you seen the Gara one?
No, not in game.
It's like a double helix that's flying around you.
Double helix.
I'm just like, how many points do you need on this damn thing? Like, whereas the ones that they showed off only had like 3.
You will like the secret meme of this week then. Moving on.
Okay, fine. Right. Moving on. The Kuva Lich system is getting updates to keep it on par with the Sisters system. Oof, Sisters system. The Kuva Hex
Sister system, sister system. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
What's up, Thaylien? What did you say? I'm going to hear over sister system.
They didn't go into anything as to what those updates would be. That's what disappointed me about that news.
I can appreciate that. But at the same time, it might be a case of they're still discovering it. Like, a lot of the finer detail, a lot of the polish is often the last thing to be worked on because you need to go over it and see what it's like first before you're like, oh no, this doesn't work. Anyway, the Kuva Hex visuals were previewed with this, but not a lot more was said. The new weapons coming with the updates were previewed. There is a new version of the Arcaplasmor, the Flux Rifle, and the Tetra. These are, along with the weapons that fold into briefcases and the unthemed new weapons including a sniper and a pistol that have not been named. I don't remember the pistol.
It wasn't actually directly mentioned, but it was there under PH something
Okay.
in the arsenal.
Okay. The new melee weapons coming with the update are going to be sold by Ergo Glass in the relays, but information on how you actually buy the weapons will be released with the update. The new melee weapons were shown off, but none of the stats on them were final. How do you guys feel the fact that Ergo Glass is going to be the one selling these weapons, regardless of your relationship with?
I don't see a problem with it. We have a lot of vendors in the game, and we can't all have them all be friendly with us. Just have to be interested in business.
I despise it. Makes no sense.
Well, like, why couldn't we have it so that there's a discount if you're friends with the parent sequence? People are going to complain saying, "Oh yeah, but I don't get a discount and I'm not friends with them." Well, that's your choice to make. If they told us what in advance, with enough advanced warning, people could switch allegiances.
I think that kind of railroads people, though. If the people that don't want to spend as much things, wouldn't they just spend equally as much getting up to that level with the parent sequence?
I don't understand.
I think thematically it makes no sense, right? Because he's not main corpus. He's sort of like adjacent corpus, right? So we don't directly attack him. But then some people are his enemies. He literally sends kill teams after these people and not others. That's why his normal stack of things, which are like, oh, these are for my friends and not, the syndicate rewards for that faction, are available to their friends and not the ones he's sending kill teams afterwards. But then apart from this, is like, oh no, but these items I have a tax exempt on and I'm liable to sell them to you, and even though I hate you so much, I send robots that cost me money to come kill you. I'll let you buy these things from the store. Does that make sense?
Devil's advocate on that.
Okay.
No, it's not really thematic. I agree with you on that. But the relays are safe places for these factions.
Right. So if put a vendor in for corpus.
If they don't like you, they're the private ones. With their specific to their faction. Those weapons, they can say no. Sorry, we're not going to sell those to you. But ones that aren't made by them, they're just vendors of. It's a way to get money out of people they hate.
Yeah, but why aren't you selling them for a premium?
Yeah, there is a good point on that. That is a good point. It would make thematic sense to have them sell for a premium or a discount.
Yeah.
In that sense, but it also kind of wouldn't as fairness over the course of the game.
Well, you could still do it by making it at least just a token element, or that when you go to that menu, the character, a voice dialogue line pops up that acknowledges the fact. There are ways of doing it. Or just put a different vendor in. Why isn't it on Darvo? This is the thing. It depends, right? Are they going to expand this and use this system to make all the other ones sell the equivalent stuff, like the Steel Meridian selling the Grineer version bits and pieces, which they don't, because we've got liches, and Cephalon Suda selling stuff. No, we don't. We just have this one. They're like, where are we going to put the corpus weapons?
These aren't the lich weapons.
No, I know, but they're coming in the package with the lich stuff, which I'm sure there was Grineer stuff that came then, or there's other stuff. They don't put them on the syndicate vendor, do they? For on a general sale list. Why don't they just put this on Darvo? It would make perfect sense. Darvo's got a stock. Why not? Not Darvo. Yeah, Darvo. You put it on Darvo. Why is it?
You have a daily Darvo deal and a standing stock rather than just his messing about.
And then there's no reason. Yeah, he's just his standing stock. These are things I was like, there was a bloody warehouse fire and I've got so many of these bloody blueprints and I'm like, I just can't get rid of them. Oh, well, Tenno, will you buy them from me?
Like, I'm not opposed to the whole expansion of other characters, like...
Oh, no, you go.
Ergo Glass, like Darvo. But, it does. It just needs to remain
Should have been
thematic.
On Darvo. No, and the other reason it should be on Darvo is to give you more reasons for people to go see Darvo's daily deal. I know that once you've got all the weapons, you won't go for that reason, but it is more reasons to go see Darvo. There is the daily deal. When was the last time either of you checked out the daily deal? Daily deal!
I don't think I ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Last time there was
last time there was a Nightwave to help Clem.
Yes, that's the main reason you go, is because Nightwave help Clem. So let's put more weapons on there. He's Corpus. I just hate how they forget about things. Like, oh no, we have to put it on the Corpus Syndicate? Why? They're not Corpus.
But going back on that, like, again, I like the fact that they're going back to Ergo Glass because, you know, when was the last time we had anything to do with him? Nidus Quest?
But for the right reason, you know. When was the last time we had a reason to go see Darvo that was new? When they added Clem? In Clem's quest?
That's literally it.
Yeah.
Aside from the opening quest of the game, Darvo himself has no real reason to be visited.
Yeah, they have done so little with Darvo since then.
Please help me here, guys, because like I can't really remember. I know there was an interaction between Darvo and Frodbeck, which is when you discover that Frodbeck is actually Darvo's father.
That was a timed quest, which doesn't exist anymore, I'm pretty sure.
You remember when it
was an event? I'm not sure which one it was.
Yeah, that was an event.
Was it something like the Proxy Rebellions or something?
No.
Or was it the original Ambulus?
Yeah, it's probably something more like that. The Ambulus release quest or something. I can't remember that. I'm sure someone will be able to find something from it.
Yes, it was. It was Ambulus Reborn. That was it. So I think that is more recent than Clem. But regardless,
the thing is, why haven't we? I'm still waiting for the for the Darvo versus Barracuda event. Where's that? That'd be so cool. Like, you know, bloody token master, which we have to give our tokens to, has basically supplanted him, like, for point and purpose. Darvo was is old school. Where Darvo at? Put him on Darvo. Right, anyway, moving on.
Okay. I'm behind Loz on put them on Darvo, but I would like to see this whole.
But we want more stuff for Syndicate stuffs as well. But this should be on Darvo.
Yeah.
Right, so moving on.
Right, what was the one I just read out? Oh, the Ergo Glass. Sisters of Palvas are obtained by using the Zenith Granum Crown to enter the Granum Void.
We like using content.
No matter what tier of reward you get from the Granum Void, as long as you get a reward, will then cause a spawn of a sister candidate when you return to the main mission. Sorry.
Okay.
You farm Requiem Murmurs for the sister by defeating their mech hounds in the mission. Can I just say, I love the fact that the serving dish has gone and it actually looks decent.
I think it was placeholder.
Yeah, I didn't get that it was
all they've done really is put some more content around it to try and frame it. But
no, that serving dish though was absolutely massive.
Serving dish, yeah.
It was
wider than the shoulders.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. It was a bit macabre, but I liked it.
Maybe alternate, but anyway, they will spawn much code.
Much less frequently.
No, less frequently. Sorry, I jumped the line. Much less frequently than Thrall's. What?
Story time with Xeno.
But will give you much more progress towards Murmurs. Once you know the Requiem code, the sisters will flee to the relevant Corpus Proxima, where they will then be a dedicated Nemesis showdown node to take it on.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah, I do like that. This is something I think I suggested, didn't I, on one of our talks? That the idea would be that you'd go and confront a Nemesis on an actual node.
Well, I know a lot of the player base has been requesting an actual node to fight the boss. Sorry,
that was how they kind of showed it for the Grineer Lich at TennoCon all those years ago.
Just updating it to what they originally showed us.
I mean, how did you guys? When is the earliest you can get a railjack? It's post sacrifice, isn't it?
Once you've got an Archwing.
So once you've got an Archwing, you can get a railjack.
Yep. You can buy one out of the thing if you've got an Archwing. But you can,
no, I'm talking
you
about.
can, if you actually farm the quest in, I think it's after, it's one of the relays. No, not relays.
Junctions.
Junctions, I believe. It's a junction thing that pops up, and you can do that quest or another quest or both.
Okay. Because I remember when it Railjack first came out, you had to have done the sacrifice. So obviously they've removed that, which is fine. And the last thing I wanted was, hey, look, you can go fight a sister of Parvos. And then you get to the end thing, and it's like, oh, now you've got to go chase it in Railjack. What's Railjack? Ah, you see, little Timmy, that's something about 6 months down the line. Hold on to that sister of Parvos.
Oh, except you don't need to. You don't need to have your own Railjack to go confront one. You can join it from a public mission.
Oh, so does that mean that you're sharing the same? Oh God, yeah, they said,
Yeah,
didn't they? Did you actually include that? I don't think you included that.
I think I missed. I did. I
Yeah.
did miss that in the notes. I'm actually a little bit excited for this. The idea that multiple people can actually join a mission to go and find their lich or their sister, and they actually spawn like mini bosses through the mission. So you can actually confront all four if you've got a team of four with the right requiems.
That's good, yeah, because then people can work together for that section as well, yeah.
Yeah. So there's no more of this. Whose lich is this one?
Yeah.
That was mine. I'll kill it. You know.
Okay, that's quite good. My question is, are we going to get this for my internal question is, are we going to get this for the Grenier Kuva liches at the same time?
They didn't say, but could be part of the updates to the lich system.
Seeing as it's seeing as it's pre-TennoCon, I would expect them to say something like, "Yes, wait to see how it's received by people," instead of just forcing the Grenier version change to it. And then I bet they'll go, right, yes, we'll change that at a later time, sometime after TennoCon. I bet. That's what I'm going to bet. That's where my money is put.
I can see that happening. Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Right. Should we move on?
No.
Cool. We'll just continue to sit here, look pretty. Yeah.
I'm good at that.
Just, no, you're not. You got that weird VTuber skin thing on. You can't sit down. Where's your chair, Loz? Where's your chair? I can't see no chair.
Right here.
Show me your chair.
I'm with my hand. There's a chair.
Take a seat down. Take a seat. Go on.
I don't know what. I moved it and then something happened and then I'm down in the chair.
I don't see no chair.
Chair? No.
I don't see no chair at all.
No, I'm sitting on, but I'm in that chair.
Space magic.
Did I break something? No, I broke. Yep. Anyway, let's move on.
Who was that? I don't know. Right, okay. So the plan is that this will come out at some point mid-July. I reckon it's going to be after the Dog Days event, which they also announced, didn't they?
But it's also, they're planning a simultaneous release, which is...
I'm wondering if, have to release an update for the Dog Days event to go live. Week.
And yeah, all the assets for PC will be on there.
Yeah. Anyway, new Warframe, Ureli's signature. Oh god, yeah, I just remember parts of the live stream. Ureli's signature weapon is a secondary with the theme Bubble Gun.
Bubble Gun.
The multiple concepts, the final concept, and the 3D model were shown off in sequence, so that we saw the whole process of development. Ureli's in-game model was revealed with a lot of focus on the idle animations. She was very cute and even draws heart shapes in the air with water. Most of the animations appear to be based around stereotypical Japanese idols with peace signs and energetic jumps and spins. It's so kawaii.
Kawaii.
I gotta be honest, like I thought they went a little too far with some of the idle animations.
Yeah, but at the same time,
can I even get those hand fingers?
It's the I do have to admire the dedication to it, because I'm looking at the little animations, like there's just like the start of them, and suddenly seeing those little heart shapes appear around the hands before, the major animation starts. So these little shapes,
like,
and everything.
When she's on a weird board thing, and then she sat on it, and then it falls down, and then yeah, she does the little like giggle. Like, I was fine up until the giggle. Like, they could have left the giggle out, and I've been happy with that. The giggle just takes it a bit too far for me. And likewise with the weird, heart hand sign. If they didn't have the water ripple of the heart in the air, I would have been fine with it. Like, I could have stomached that because it's an idle animation. You don't have to, stand still nearly long. No, and these giant freaking. I don't know. Maybe Loz and Xeno and maybe Thaylien.
Man,
are all dead inside, and we don't like cute things.
I'm definitely not dead inside. I'm really impressed. I like the dedication to how they actually worked so many of these stereotypes into the same little packs of idle animations. Everything from the Japanese stereotype of turning feet inwards because it's more modest for a lady when they walk and when they stand. That was there even on they did in the arsenal when she was holding a rifle, and she does the little turn around and then pops the leg up in a little pose. That the feet were turned in.
Oh
on
God!
That, and it's actually.
I think I commented during the actual stream. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, what's wrong with her legs?
Yeah,
she was doing that.
Yeah, that's an actual trained in thing to most Japanese idols. They have to,
it's a body posture thing.
Yeah.
Is it feet posturing, pointing out is a it's a area claiming action, whereas to turn in like that, it's reducing your overall style because as you're moving outwards, it's tapering into a point, reducing overall, and it seems as more passive and more, I suppose, cute,
early,
and more submissive as well.
Yes, and you'll see that in all of the.
But I don't need that in my genetically modified, super-powered human killing genocide machine. Thank you.
Preaching to the choir on that one.
Okay.
At the same time, it's still impressive.
I will be happy with this if the narrative, if the quest was something like Ureli was sort of like the corpus idol warframe that was literally there to subdue the Solarians
through propaganda.
Yes, through propaganda. I would be 100% fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's do that. It needs that darker edge to it. Yes.
No.
She was an idol, but she was kidnapped and turned into a warframe because of she had that effect over them. Specifically because she was,
I wasn't going to go that far, but just let's add on that extra layer of Marmite Grimdark.
It doesn't link into her abilities. Then, if you want to go that far, it would then make sense to make her abilities that way. Anyway, let's move on. What's this warframe do, and why am I not going to learn about it like I learn about every other new warframe?
Actually, this one should be fairly easy enough to learn. The abilities seem fairly straightforward.
Passive. While moving, Ureli's secondary weapon gains more crit. That seems perfectly logical.
Well, it depends on the amount of crit we'll have to see.
Yeah, sea snares release several orbs into the air that each capture and damage an enemy over time. Snares will float in place if no enemy is in range and activate like a mine once an enemy approaches.
I like the look of that one.
They look kind of OP as fuck.
Yeah,
but they're single target, remember?
Right, but you're throwing out like a fucking minefield full of them.
Minefield, let alone modding.
But that's on how much modding there is. Yeah.
Like, I'll just put on energy efficiency, and if there's nothing that, if there's nothing that actually increases the quantity, just energy efficiency, just throw them out, just keep throwing them out. Like Solder or other abilities, let's minefield the whole place.
Doesn't Protea's one do that already?
What's a Protea?
Protea's one. Yeah, but those are just explosive mines.
No, they're not. These shrapnel mines are persistent fields of damage that cause staggers, and actually, the longer they're out, the more damage they deal, and they proc slash.
Still nothing compared to floating enemy in the air like this, as I expose my head ready for the easy, quick headshot, as I do not attack you, do not deal damage, and are free to just be stabbed in the face. Yeah, they look cool to me.
Point. But, yeah. Depends on how many you can get with modding.
Yes.
Just keep going.
And augments.
Just keep going. God, her second ability?
Merulina.
I'm so glad you guys tried to say that instead of me. Right. This summons a living K drive that she can use in missions. It has a health bar and will absorb some of the damage you take as a way of damage mitigation. While on
Merulina.
Yeah. Casting abilities will be more... What?
Melee is now the new name. Melee.
Okay, melee. Casting abilities will be more streamlined. Editor's note. Do you want to read that out loud? Because you're the one that...
couldn't see whether this just meant that she can move towards enemies faster or get in range of enemies, or if there's actually some kind of passive buff to her other abilities when she's on it.
I would guess maybe a passive range boost, because it's going to be hard if you're going, you'll easily go, cast it on there while moving backwards and you're out of range in 2 seconds. So range might be a useful.
That's a fair point.
Aquablades!
I'm just trying to think of her other abilities. Yeah, okay, fine. Aquablades. This is a damage roller that slices enemies with whirling water blades in a radius around your rally. I'm sorry.
I remember you saying about this one.
It's so 90s.
No. Right. What was my biggest hatred of
Ember?
Of Ember?
Why, I do believe, good dear Mr. Xeno, I do believe it was the automatic and easiness of use for World on Fire.
Yeah. You would run around...
Didn't World on Fire have like a 30-meter range?
What? We don't know what the range on this is.
It looked like 10 feet.
Unmodded.
Right, well, even if it's 10 feet, right?
That's just on a K drive.
You've now included a K drive, right?
That's
to which
unmodded.
she could go faster than bloody sun.
I wonder if the K drive speed is affected by like buffs from Vault.
Oh my god, could you just imagine?
Right, so yeah, Xeno's worried about that one.
I really want the K drive to be modded by actual K drive mods, because there's some fun ones in there.
Yeah, maybe K drive mods.
I imagine they will do that. Like they'll make the K drive kind of like an exalted weapon. And then Cyclone Strike, which I thought was kind of weird and interesting.
I didn't like this one.
Cast on a location, and the ability will grab enemies in range, pull them in, and launch them upward for a quick CC and damage.
No, okay, obviously you have to see to the damage. I don't know if maybe it's very high damage, but I remember them casting it and just being like, that's the ultimate? What? It seemed very impressive to me.
What this looked like to me is a mix of Oberon's Reckoning with Zephyr's whatever Zephyr does. I can't remember what her whirlwind things are called.
Tornadoes?
Tornadoes, yeah.
Tornado. Yeah, so it grabs enemies in range, pulls them in, deals damage, and shoots them upwards, which isn't actually all that bad a thing. Something I couldn't see, but from the way it was being cast, it looks like it doesn't actually cost 100 energy.
That's the thing. Maybe that's what's going on here, because maybe it's supposed to be like on the K drive, zipping around, like spamming this here, there, and everywhere. And actually thinking about it, because I think they did this as a change to Zephyr. When enemies die, they just ragdoll and they're no longer affected by the push-up effect. I think on Zephyr, they added that in. So if that's default on this, thinking about, I was watching the dev stream. If the cast was killing the mob, we wouldn't see the whoosh up effect in the CC, would we? Because they were just dead, So maybe that's why. We'll have to wait and see. Wait and see.
Yeah. Cool. There is no further news on the previously mentioned unique way of obtaining Ureli, although we're supposed to find out in the Wave Rider mini quest for the Vent Kids. the Vent kids apparently idolize Ureli, probably because of the K-Drive ability.
I think
very
that the
much-
lore is that they actually built their K-Drives mimicking Ureli.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
think it was that
something
way.
like that.
I kind of
did they
like
say
that
that?
because it explains why the Corpus don't utilize them for anything. Like, it's actually something the Vent Kids came up with, not that the Corpus mass produced these and they're stealing the bits. The Vent Kids themselves were like, oh, we want... Ureli's got this cool thing, we want that. So they built it themselves. And like, okay, that actually fixes a big narrative plug hole in my brain.
It also kind of ties in with the fact that they made her model smaller. So she's actually physically smaller than a lot of the other Warframes. I think that's actually a functional thing, so she can ride a K-Drive through small spaces, so she doesn't become too big when she's on it. But by being a small Warframe, riding a K-Drive, small children want to ride K-Drives.
yeah. No, that
kind of
makes
fits.
sense.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Ureli, especially because of the CC side of things. But I'll be honest, the whole K-Drive and World on Fire potential has me a little concerned that, you know, all we're going to see in early game Warframe is Ureli flying around, you know, and then new players are going to be like, why is everything dead? Oh, you got a Ureli, it's fine.
No, yeah, it'll just be how to carry your friends through early missions very easily. You know, max range early, right? Spawn in with friend, jump on K-Drive, vanish. Everything's dead. Yep, everything's dead. Always has been.
The second you said that, I'm just envisioning the whole astronaut gun thing.
Yes,
always has been.
Always has been.
Okay. Should we move on to the next bit?
One more thing to note is that Pablo released a tweet about Ureli because people were worried about the K-Drive and how easy it is to fall off. So there's a couple of things that have been added. So she's more resistant at base to being knocked off her K-Drive. And when she does, there's no ragdoll. That was something that people were really worried about. Also, if you saw the in the dev stream, Rebecca was actually going over small objects without having to, without running into them like a first-person shooter would. So there's actually a little bit more tracking on what she can actually go over as well.
Oh, well, like stepping kind of thing.
Yep, steps, small railings, defense pods. No.
No. What I was trying to apply was that you can easily walk over a step. So in video games, you just automatically do it. But I assume that they've just increased the amount that she can naturally go over within the K-Drive.
That looks to be the case.
Right. Okay. Cool. Right. Should we move on to the Railjacks? The rank 10 for the command intrinsics has been revealed. This will give you elite crewmates. Crewmates will now get a trait that is associated with their best stat. For example, a crew member with high gunnery stat might get a bonus damage with a particular weapon, or a defender may get a trait that raises a personal shield if they're in trouble.
The thing that gets me is I remember when they started adding these crewmates thing, and I wish they put more forethought into them, so that it'd be so cool if you could level up your crewmen and work with them and upgrade them to this point. Maybe if they put in an item that you can use in your crewmen to give them one of these skills as well, because it does feel really weird that you're going to work you could get your your Railjack, you get your crew, and you get through missions, and you're doing things, swapping their stats, you've made it all the way to level 9, and oh, sorry team, I'm going to replace you now with better people that I now have access to because I am the best captain in the world.
So, two thoughts jumped to my mind. Right? So when you're talking about upgrading them, for some strange reason, I'm thinking like those gacha games where you have to get two of the same character and then merge them together, right? And then the second thing
Frank,
jumped into my mind.
Eat Phil. Why? It'll make you stronger.
But the other thing is like, oh, you need a crew, so you gotta get this like elite crew sort of thing. So you make a crew, and then once you have brought the crew together, you manage to get into some secret K drive party or whatever, and then what's the job? That's the job. We got into the party. It's fine. So it's just taking the piss out of that Rick and Morty thing with the heists. Yep.
But that's basically what you do with the other crewmen. It's like you're doing all this stuff, and it's like, what was the point? Yep, to let me go get elite crewmen.
Yep.
Dearie me. Last point there.
Well, what the? No. I wanna get Thaylien's feel. How do you feel about the elite crew?
I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. You're right. It does feel a little bit disloyal to your crew, with that you're just going to abandon them for these new elite ones.
Elite crew.
I'm also the kind of person that actually did stop by and to deliberately find new crew members quite regularly after the update, because some of them were fun and some of them were a little bit weird. And of course, I went for the weird ones, like the guy, like the literal arbiter that I found. Arbiter Princeps, who is my absolute beast of an engineer. Yes. Oh, crikey, could you hear that background?
What is that?
That was a massive Harley Davidson, it sounded like.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so my Arbiter Princeps, he's an engineer, so he'll just go calmly fix the ship, but if I get borders, he's got his defender stat is almost as high as his engineer stat.
Wow.
So he's a breaker of boarding parties. I just gave him a Brammer and he's quite happy.
And now all you're going to do is give him his pink slip.
Yeah, It seems like that. But then again, I might get a defender that when he gets in trouble, everybody gains health or something.
Yep.
It depends.
Yeah.
I think it's great that they're actually updating the 10 to something that's actually interesting and useful to make you go back and get more crewmates and see what's there.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to also add an option for an item.
But I tell you what, there is something I did think of, because on the way up the ranks, you gain the ability to give them points into something else. So it would be interesting to see where an elite crewman that you gained, you could then assign points, and maybe its skill would change.
Nah, I doubt it. That's the kind of cool, well, maybe interesting things like re-rolling them and things that I think it's just going to be flat. You buy them and they come with a special skill.
Well, yes, but they've got you still upgrade their points just same as you would with everything else.
Yeah, but I doubt that'll affect their skill. I think their skill's going to be fixed.
Could that be interesting as well? Maybe you'll have a gunnery officer that can raise personal shields or heal the crewmates when they get drop damage.
Well, I meant that if you're able to swap the skill by moving stats around, it will kind of gut the whole system, because you don't need to wait on cool things from the shop, like you're saying, go back to check the stock for new ones, because you'll just get 4 or 3, and then just swap the stats till you have the skills you want on them.
I still think it would be rather interesting, because there's very few times when adding just 3 points will take you over the threshold of another stat.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine with adding the points. I meant that you said about re-rolling the special skill, yeah?
Yeah, but if it's re-rolling, it's still RNG, isn't it?
But then some people might not want it, because they're like, oh, I can't add stats to it now, because if I do, it'll change the skill. Or it has a chance of changing the skill.
Make that skill the highest one.
No, I bought no. I bought it with X skill because it had it at the vendor. I then upgrade it because I can later, and oh no, it now no longer has the skill I wanted because I put stats in, which changed it in a way I didn't think I was gonna. People go mental.
I think that's an edge case, but you're right. You are right.
Oh, people will go mental. People love reasons to go mental. Oh yes. Anyway, Xeno's gone pretty quiet and needs to tell us about the 2 new mission types.
Yep, so 2 mission types, right? Corpus Railjack will be getting an update to allow survival and spy missions. Yes, very much like I want this.
I don't understand how we can do spy missions after boarding an enemy ship like that. We've flown in. It's like, where are they? Where are the Tenno? Are they aboard? No. We can't see them. So one of our vaults just got accessed. Could that be the Tenno? No. There's a railjack out there.
They're clearly out there in that immobile railjack. That's exactly where they are. No one has boarded this ship. It's impossible to get into my perfect, secure ship.
If the ship...
Wait, the alarms are going off. The alarms are
clearly
going
a
off.
bug.
Wait, no, they're not. No, they're not anymore. Who deactivated the alarms? Oh, Bob. Bob deactivated the alarms. You sure?
Bring me Bob here, but in a minute, I want to have a word with him.
Found his head, Captain. Do you think that means Tenno are here?
No, clearly this is just a tragic workplace accident. Clearly it's all going wrong today. There's bugs with the alarm system, people losing their head. We're going to have to just sit here, stay careful, and wait out the day.
Anywho, with that amazing rendition of workplace safety in corporate spy missions. No, I do like the fact that we're getting this. I kind of wonder, when are we going to get the Grenier equivalent of in-mission or mid-mission stuff?
Yes.
You know, because we still haven't had that. Anyway, clan recruitment changes. The clan recruitment system is getting an update. A new system is going in that will allow clans to use ad spaces in the Maru's Bazaar for a contribution of resources. Players advertising their clan will be able to choose from a long list of categories such as new player friendly or event focused, so that their clan can be better advertised to other players. Players for a clan will be able to search for a clan based on this system. As long as the advert is up, ad space is ad space is limited, and your ad will only last a given amount of time before you have to rebuy ad space. This ad space only costs in-game resources, so there's no platinum purchases associated with it. The reason for having a pay Maru is that these systems can't explode by every clan advertising all at once.
Oh,
I can tell.
You read that one really badly.
Did I?
Yeah, can't.
The reason for having to pay Maru is so that these systems aren't exploded by every clan advertising all at once.
I don't know what I said, but imagine I said that instead.
Very good rendition.
Yes,
very good.
In remarkable impression of me.
Yeah, imagine I said that, just like that, exactly. Anyway, I quite like this, but at the same time, this is reminiscent to the guild problems that I face with another game called Xeno. Like, I don't know if stop it.
I'm just keeping you on track.
But I don't know, like, what. I can't think of a single game where the recruitment system was absolutely amazing. They all seem to fall into the same plot. It's like the same holes where, you know, it's either everyone's screaming in some form of chat, or, you know, the announcement thread or the announcement post or whatever. It just gets lost.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see with this resource spending thing.
I think I asked Xeno on Arbiters, Loz, how long until primed ad space? I do like the concept, the idea that you actually have to buy it, so it doesn't automatically just advertise every clan at once, and every single clan has to then go in and update their stuff because it's automatically advertised, and you then have a massive pool of uncategorized clans. But I'm not so sure about the limited ad space permanently. They might want to expand that later.
Well, like, part of the problem I have with this is, if you've got to go to Maru to see this, are people actually going to use it?
They might more, because Maru's Bazaar is already a place people go to trade when they don't want to go to their clan dojo.
Yeah.
Or when they don't have one. So Maru's Bazaar, I've never gone there and found it unoccupied.
Yes, meaning that's what I was going to say. Yeah, that there are people there, and giving people more reasons to go there would only help. You know,
though that's true, I would say that Maru's Bazaar is mostly occupied by just players with their hand held up high trying to sell something.
Oh yeah. Well, the reason I was like,
So no. But my point is that if you're trying to say that, oh no, it's really busy because all these shops are open in this shopping mall, but is anyone actually buying anything?
I don't think they would still be there after all these literal years of having Maru's Bazaar if it wasn't working.
I think it's more like Maru's Bazaar opens up a ice cream store in the corner, and thus people who want ice cream will be able to go there for the ice cream store. Yes, they'll have to go through the rampant food court with everyone else holding their hands up for burgers, but now at least there's ice cream for sale, so hopefully there'll be more people there talking to each other about ice cream.
What I think they've missed, though, is that there's no actual incentive to go to Maru's Bazaar in the first place, beyond the idea that Maru has a trading thing there. There's
weekly
no
item.
reason for... Well, weekly item, but that's never... Again, it's never explained. It's just there.
No, exactly, yeah. I think it could also good for new players if they pointed them in that way. Like, maybe make that part of a junction, visit Maru's Bazaar, you know.
I think the best course of action realistically is to view it. You can do it from inside your Lisette, like the clan advert board or whatever. You can from inside your Lisette, but in order to set it, maybe you have to go to Maru's Bazaar.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like there's a point of entry here.
Yeah.
So there's a point of friction that no one's going to go for. Like, trading chat is still rampant with activity,
but
because people can't be bothered to deal with Maru's Bazaar.
Yeah, but I go to Maru's Bazaar and look at things and what people are holding up.
Recruiting chat is also completely unstatic, just like trade chat. It may be rampant in trade chat, but you have to repost your trades every minute and 30 seconds. Otherwise, it just scrolls on by and nobody sees it ever. So there is an element of, yes, this actually could be a good thing, because you have, maybe a week or 2 weeks of people being able to see your clan.
But then the question comes in, how many clans can that person see? If the person can see all the clans that advertise, it's talking about hundreds of thousands.
That's why a search function and why the limited space.
We're going to have to see how it's limited space. Is it going to be like a bidding war, or...?
I will counter one thing from Xeno, which is the reason they haven't put it in the Lisette is because Maru's Bazaar is a dedicated server. So they can actually... So they've actually got space that they can dedicate, as opposed to the potentially hundreds of thousands of people having to access something from the main service they connect to from the Lisette.
I'm with Xeno on the Lisette thing. I think it should even be in the escape menu while you're in the Lisette. Access it through there.
Yeah. I just think that's why they've done it, rather than
No,
the whole reason why it's behind... So with Maru is because they want to keep it behind the warframe. Like there's no difference between keeping it behind Maru and then giving it to the player on the gate menu. In terms of server activity, it's exactly the same.
Mastery rank.
Personally, I think we're going to have to see how this is implemented, and I don't think there's much time speculating on it, because they come up with some good ideas. I think we should wait to see what they implement, and then we could, because I think this will be a topic itself in a later episode. Move on.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Extras. Modular Arcwing is still in progress and will be coming later. The Ghouls Saw will be coming with the next Plague Star event. Dog Days will return on June 7th to June 21st. So I think after June 21st is when we're going to see the Sisters of Power Boss. The new reward this time will be the Sokatron rifle skin for all rifles. The second, I'm gonna hold on. We're gonna. How do you feel about that, Loz? How do you feel about the water pistol skin for the rifles?
I can't remember how it looks when it shoots. I think I would have actually preferred it to be its own weapon. At least it looks like a Grineer weapon. I can't remember what the shooting animation is like and how that's going to blend onto other weapons, because it has, normally you have to pump the weapon to get pressure to use it. So I don't know if you would just be able to shoot a weapon. I think it should blend in fine. It's not like a
yeah.
It doesn't. It's okay in game. You can imagine it shooting toxic bullets or something. I don't know.
If you've seen the other Universal skins, like the Oscar bundle, the rifle there, what that does, it gives the firing animation and sounds are unique, but the stats don't change on the weapon.
Yes,
so
yeah.
you get same rate of fire as whatever you're using, just with a different effect.
You know, the funny thing is, years and years and years ago, I mean, you know, there's things in the game like the Manticore axe skin.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah, the stat changing ones.
Yeah, the stat changing ones. And now the reason why they stopped doing those officially is what they said is they realized as well, if we're going to make a whole cool looking different skin, we could just give it stats and make it another weapon to sell rather than just putting it as a skin. So they just stopped doing those skins. That's why there's like, they were originally on the alerts. There was like a handful, I think like 3 or 4. And then they went, wait a minute, all this effort we're putting into this new model is just being a skin. Let's just put the effort in and then just turn it into a full weapon. So, and now they've gone back to saying, no, you have an alert with a skin. Seems weird to me.
But this one doesn't change the stats.
Oh, you know, exactly, yeah. I would prefer it to be actually its own gun.
Everything.
I think its own gun.
Yeah,
I think
right.
cool.
I agree completely. That definitely should have been its own gun. It would have been fun to actually have something that the reload animation was pumping out like a Nerf or whatever.
Yeah, even if it was a bit of a weak gun, a bit of a joke, but you know, it's not much. It's supposed to just be a bit of fun, you know. It's like how we never got the ball. And
yeah, the Arcata.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just wouldn't work or whatever. It's like, oh, come on, just fudge it, Scott. Fudge it.
No, we did get the skin for the Arcata, but we didn't actually get the ball weapon. Yeah. So you couldn't actually...
It would had some weird things with like you'd lose the ball or whatever. Just, I mean, we've got void magic. Just if we lose the ball, just make it magically return to us. I don't know. I think it would have been... That's things like that is why we Lunaro died. One of the reasons. Anyway, moving on.
Well, I mean, couldn't you fudge it like the glaive disc? The glaive disc always comes back to you, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
So just the ball always comes back to you.
Yeah. I would have been
you
fine.
could even use similar stances, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. The Ember Deluxe will come with a new Syandana, which has been confirmed to release with the Sisters update. Doesn't like that Syandana.
There's a cool hole in the back of the character, and clearly that should be reflecting through the Syandana as if like it's burnt a hole right through the back in the Syandana. Instead, the Syandana just covers it, as if they were made by 2 separate people. It's hilarious. Anyway, moving on.
They were made by 2 separate people, I'm sure.
I know, but with no connecting idea. Just like, oh, make a Syandana.
A bonus video clip shown of the mocap for the new war is featured a lot of Jeff bullying Tim to get shots.
And Xeno exploited that massively with his own tweet.
I just want to give credit, right? The idea came from JJ24. He put a joke in on the Discord, and I thought, you know what, I can actually make this. So I actually downloaded the episode. It was hilarious because, like, oh god, I'm gonna have to go through the whole episode just to find where. And I realized the screen capture that JJ had actually taken had the time in the actual stream on the actual screen. So I ended up jumping to that. Like, yeah, so I clipped it, and yeah. That, like, I don't know if this is me being really pessimistic or what. I kind of wish that they never mention the words "the new war." Like, oh, look at some cinematic stop motion footage that Jeff is recording, right? With Tim.
Yeah, because it does imply that the whole thing is being delayed by their access to the mocap studio.
That's fine, but my problem.
It's a very pessimistic view, but I'm half with you on it as well.
So, just to reiterate, my problem is purely personal, right? My problem is that I have been wanting the new war for freaking ever. As you know, take a handful of Arbiter's episodes, and you'll know that. My problem is that I am going to be unable to control my expectations. I'm going to want this to be my envisioning, my headcanon of what I want the new war to be like. and you know, if I don't get it exactly like I want it or close enough, I'm just going to be disappointed. I kind of wish that they just surprised, but now I'm just going to think about it. Oh, what could it be? What could that, you know? So I'm going to. I don't want to dwell on. What?
Hey,
You
I've
sound
got
like
a way
a kid
to-
before Christmas.
I've
I
got a
do.
way to set your mind at ease on that one. They said that that particular scene they showed
Wasn't
it
gonna
because
go
it
in.
wasn't going to get used.
Yes. No,
Oh.
I get that, but at the same time, I still feel like this, like, oh no, you said new war. You said new. It's like when, God, what was it? People screaming about having Excalibur Umbra. You know, I want Excalibur. Where's Excalibur? Do you know what I mean?
You developed
I
a
know
syndrome.
And it
Yes.
ruined a completely good quest about the Stalker.
Yeah. No, and I know this is a me problem. This is entirely a me problem. But anyway, are you guys happy to hear that the new war is still coming?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
No,
Mostly,
yeah. You go, Thaylien.
mostly because it has been something they promised. They've if they keep delivering on these things they promised they would, then you know it might have been a while, but they didn't lie to us. So many video game developers lie to us.
Just like EA.
Oh no, EA doesn't lie to you. They just tell you exactly what they're doing and pretend that you like it.
Actually, no. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking Ubisoft. I'm thinking Activision. I'm thinking
CD Projekt Red.
I don't think that one's as bad as people make it out to be. Anyway, moving on. Nope, I read that one. Q&A session. Is there any chance that we could own something like a house in Warframe rather than floating around in space? The general consensus was dojos exist, but also that there is some stuff in the works, right? Scott, he's a legend. Like, I love the fact that
Yes.
he just basically turned around and said, like, but what about dojos?
Yes.
Yeah, dojos. What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What
Yeah,
is-
I'm totally with it on this. It's just like you already have the Lisette and the dojo to decorate however you want. You have living quarters down there. Oh, but we want a home. You're an interdimensional space wizard child ninja destroying calamity. But I want a home. Okay, the only way I would accept this is, as an example, comparing to World of Warcraft, when they did the Legion expansion, each class had a class hall, which had its own single player. Though you saw the people in it, it was like you were the leader of your of the paladins or of the warlocks or whatever. Yeah. And so you had your own storyline for that area. So if they do it, it would be like a Tenno focus hall, and you it's to help plan certain Tenno, or you know, you're gonna have a group of Tenno or NPC Tenno for like fighting off the sentience.
Do it based on the oh god, focus school.
Yeah, the focus school.
Yeah.
But it would have a single player storyline, and it would also, you could decorate it, because you would be the leader or whatever, but you'd see other NPC Tenno, but you could also decorate it how you want. That kind of thing I get behind. If it just give us a house, oh yeah, gotta give people houses. No, just no.
Oh, Genshin
would nuke it from did they? Have they? Oh, great.
Yeah, that's the only reason that something popped up, was because they've got player homes coming in there.
But they don't have Lisettes. They don't have Dojo.
No, I'll tell you what. The only way I'd accept it is if we had a particular clear spot in the forests of Earth, and I got a tree house for my Zephyr.
Someone's been watching both free.
But, I recommended it to you. Of course I have been.
So did Lars. Anyway.
So good.
But no, but I need my home away from home.
It's my second home in the countryside.
In the countryside, on the country planet.
Planet side.
Anyway, we've already got 2 homes.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't need
give
a third,
dojos need
surely.
more reasons to exist. I mean, do more things with dojos. Let people have personal rooms in dojos that they use a special elevator that send you to your own personal area that you can do. It's like personal quarters on the dojo. Don't do housing unless there's a reason. Part of the problem with the dojos.
The biggest problem with the dojos is the simple fact that there's no reason to do. Like, there's no reason to go to the dojo, like, because you could do everything from the Lisette.
Yeah.
If there was an option to start in the dojo, I'd be much happier with that.
Yeah, same.
And
Exactly.
I would, God, I kind of wish that there was a way to sort of like buy the dojo, make it a lot smaller. Because, like, you know, okay, you've got the big ass huge room, but like, you don't need the mission room to be bigger than the biggest hall. Oh, actually, no, I'm not quite sure if it's bigger than the biggest hall, but it's like, it is pretty damn big and spacious. The halls, like, they only have what, at most 6 doors on them.
Yeah.
2 on yeah, and like, can we get more? Can we have like 2 floors to a? It feels like the dojo tile system was designed to be, oh, let's make them absolutely massive and nothing else.
Yeah, massive expansive spaces for people just to fill with things. That's the thing. Yeah, until that gets a reason, I don't think people should have player houses. It's just like, you've got a dojo that needs a reason to exist still. Just go decorate your dojo some more. Go build. You could literally build a house in the dojo. There, you got your own house. What more functionality would you get if you just get to do it on Earth? The
Thaylien
skybox,
actually
I
built
guess.
a tree house.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's
let's
kind of
move on.
pretty.
It is kind of pretty. Right, moving on to the next one. Does the plan for Railjack mean that core Warframe will eventually be replaced?
I hate this.
Steve said that the equivalent of what we didn't say that. Wait, what? Sorry. Steve said
the equivalent of we didn't say that.
Yeah. While Railjack is becoming more integrated with how we play the game, it isn't replacing the core Warframe.
This is the thing that gets me. It's like, is this? Yeah, sorry, you guys. Yeah.
I would have thought Corpus Railjack was a clear indication of no.
Exactly. Yeah. That the Railjack is becoming a functional way to give you more scenarios to play the core of Warframe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, if anything, it's just a better packaging around the core.
Yeah.
I liken it to the Lisette itself. You know, we used to just load into the game and we'd be kneeling around the star chart. And now we have a Lisette we can walk around to do all the things that we can do from the escape menu, but just in person.
Yeah, exactly. That is a really good way of framing it, Thaylien. But that's exactly it. Yeah, in the olden days, you just had the menu, which did everything. We got, you know, there was the foundry, there was the missions, there was the lore section, there was all your inventory, there was the market. It was all in there, and that was the simple way of doing it. And the core has been preserved, but now there's a terminal for this, a terminal for that, and it expands the game. It makes it greater. And same thing for Railjack. I don't know if Steve was just trying to pander to people and be like, no, it's okay, it's fine, don't worry, your core Warframe isn't going anywhere. Because to be honest, I'm like, no, I wanted him to double down and say, look, Railjack's not going anywhere. Your core Warframe is fine. They're just going to integrate amazingly well. You wait and see. That's what I wanted him to say.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think that would open up a potential can of worms. Yeah. I just saw the void worm in the footage. In the background footage. Anyway, sorry.
There was a void worm?
You had No. When you were flying around in the Railjack, there was a void worm. Yeah, by your window.
Oh wow. I'm bad as a bat.
They do tend to fly in and out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, because you were doing vault runs earlier, Loz.
Yeah.
Do you know that one particular vault with the fin that looks like it actually has a window into the void?
No.
There's a gold filigree shape that pops up right in the middle of it that looks like a standing flag.
Really?
And in that flag, it looks like a window into the void.
Oh.
But funny enough, it actually is, because occasionally one of the void worms will actually fly past on the other side.
Oh, wow.
Oh. I have no idea what you're referring to.
I'll link you to the video later.
Yeah. Right. Next question. are there plans to use other classes of Railjack, such as Orokin class or Grineer class? The way that Railjack was built doesn't really support changing out an entire Railjack, but there may be the option to permanently steal other ships, like cruise ships. While there is a lot more coming, it isn't anything to do with the concept of being able to change out your entire Railjack for another model.
Yeah, no,
Good.
I see what people want, because people want the flavor things. You could just give them a skin. Give them an external skin that is like our Corpula and Grax, but for Railjack. You know, Grax
the Corpo.
Yeah. To give people that.
And Grax and all those other ones, yeah.
As for cruise ships in missions, I would like to see them do more. I would really like to see them do more. I don't know what. Maybe some of the mission objectives are you have to not, because the first thing it normally says is like approach the Corpus ship in the Corpus missions, you know, approach the Corpus pillar, and then it tells you what to do. Maybe it's one of the objective is stay away from the Corpus pillar, and if you come too close, like a timer starts and you have to get away from it again, and you have to wait for a cruise ship to appear. You have to hijack the cruise ship and then get the cruise ship to go near the enemy ship by staying away from other ships for a bit, you know, like, and then it'll hack or something. Something like that. And that's just off the top of my head. I'm not saying it's like, oh, stealth mission or whatever. Just something, something like that to do something with cruise ships.
That could be how you do the spy missions. You have a cruise ship hijack first.
That would be cool. That would be so cool. That's the kind of thing.
The one thing that, again, I'll always say that I'm sad that it only exists in the War Within is that initial stealth bit with Arkwing, where you've got to hide from the scanners by being on the opposite. Yeah, that was excellent.
It was a good first idea, and some might not have liked it, but it's like, right, so it needed to be worked on. We needed more game modes with bits like that, yeah.
I really feel that the new Corpus Railjack, the new stuff that they're doing with Railjack, could really accommodate the way that, you know, that works, that functions.
Yeah, even if it was just a side objective, so there's an asteroid and you have to use that method to get into the asteroid to disable some security field as a bonus objective. At least it'd be interesting in there and reused, you know. I don't know. You got one last point?
And one last point, and finally, something will be revealed at TennoCon. Something that rhymes with new Blore.
More gore?
He's not subtle, is he, Steve?
No, again, like I just wish that don't get me wrong. Clearly, I really like everyone at DE and things, but I just like, come on, surprise us. Just don't hint anything. Just like wham, there it is.
Yeah.
Boob floor.
Boob floor.
Yes, clearly
boob floor.
Anyway, right. So that's it for that topic. Does anyone have any final points that they want to discuss about the dev stream?
Really cool. I'm looking forward to TennoCon. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. The boob floor is going to be amazing.
You know, people are going to like turn up on the the TennoCon episode is our 400th episode.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, Loz, you promised us boob floor. Where's the boob floor?
Well, I too will be disappointed if DE doesn't deliver on their boob. It's not my promising it. They're the one who said it rhymes with that.
Right.
Exactly.
Anyway. Right.
I do reckon that if we gave him a quick commission, Joey could render that for Loz to walk around on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this will no longer be on YouTube, but instead Pornhub. So let's not. Anyway, right. Moving on to topic 2. 45. Cool. Right. So topic number 2: modular Arkwings. Will it happen or not? In the last dev stream, we got a non-committal answer about whether or not modular Arkwings was happening at all. It would be nice if we could get a full answer on whether or not it's happening.
Huh?
That's the topic. Loz sat down. Preparation for.
I need a drink.
Okay, he's getting a drink.
It's definitely a good moment to have a drink, because this is yet another one of those little bits of things that they told us about and just haven't followed through on yet.
But we've had other stuff like this. We've had Neff and Durfanyo, the boss fight that never came.
Yeah, but that one's really old. There's like, I think the same time as Modular Art King, we also have the Sprague and Tell boss fight, the Mercurius and V8 boss fight. The updates for them.
There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ! I completely forgot about those.
Yeah, that's another
And
thing
so
that is
DE.
like, it's like they say it's finished, and it's like they just haven't released it, or a lot of work's done on it. It's nearly finished, and you just title it up. Same thing with the Ghoul Saw. Like, when was that supposed to come out? And it's just been the last, partly because of COVID, but I think even before that. I think before, what came sort of before Deimos? What's the biggest up? A Railjack, yeah. Working towards that first Railjack, and then trying to fix it, I think, and then trying to like divert into other things and reassessing their order of things has just been a complete mess for the last 2 years. I think it's something like that. So lots of things have fallen by the wayside, like Pets 2.0, Modular Arc Wings, that Sprague and Tell boss fight.
I don't know how fair it is to say that.
Everyone's had
some
disruptions because of last year. I
well,
appreciate
no.
that.
Regardless of last year,
Yeah.
Economy does agree with you. But one thing I can say is the dynamic flow of internal projects. I mean, like there's always this one. I don't know if it was a written interview or if it was a video interview. There was one thing. I think it was part of No Clip, the No Clip documentary, where Steve was having a discussion with the developer. The developer was saying that, you've asked me to change again what you've already asked me to do. Like, I've got this document here, this Google Doc, that says you've asked me to do X, Y, and Z, and now you're asking me to do STU, right? Why are you changing it all? And Steve's response was, we're making a game, we're not making a Google Doc.
Yeah.
I can completely get behind that mentality, because that developer was very clearly coming from a digital agency perspective. Like, this is a large part of my job, where you are given a specific task that is exactly what we are paid to do by another business. But when you're working on something for your own team, your own company or whatever, you've got to do what's right for the company, right? So you might start working on it. Case in point, the Kingpin system. I'm pretty sure with the Kingpin system, they pretty much mimicked the Nemesis system from name of the game,
Lord of the Rings.
Shadow of Mordor. Lord of the Rings, fine. Verbatim, and then wait, is verbatim the right word? Exactly, like 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if they copied it exactly, and then felt that like, this doesn't feel Warframe, and then they held off releasing it. I remember episode 200 of 10 o'clock when we had Megan on, and she basically said, "Yeah, we had to shelve it."
Yeah. No, I think the term was back burner.
Well, maybe she said that. Maybe I said that. I love.
I think it was their term. No, but
Okay.
There's also more to it though, because they did actually start showing that in points, and I think there was also more of a bigger issue as to sort of the scope of the system, because it was supposed to be a clan-based thing. There was going to be the room. Huh?
Yeah, you're right. It was.
So there was that room where it was kind of like
massive scope creep.
Yes, yeah, and it was going to be like you would send people off to get like information about the next Kingpin or against the next step, and it'd be like everyone would be working together on a big system, and there'd be like as you say, the Lord of the Rings sort of tally board with the people at the bottom, people at the top, and you'd be working your way up, kind of thing. And they just completely reworked it down to the single player point of view, which is good in some ways, but I think they really missed the boat, because that would have really made clans interesting again. I really think it would have been solid clan content, but they probably went all about the solo players, and it's just like, oh god, the whole game always gets bent over for the solo players. Now, I know there's people who can't play. Some people can't play in open worlds because they're machines. Some people can't play in clans. Some people don't want to play in clans. Some people have issues they can't play in it. But then make it that there's other ways they can access the rewards of the thing, but they can't access the system. At some point, we have to come up with content like trials for groups of players. I'm mainly a solo player, especially when it comes to the latest World of Warcraft expansion. I play solo a lot. I didn't play group stuff, but I still see the importance of it for the health of the game. And there was something was lost in that. Sorry, back to your point.
Well, I mean, the point I was trying to make, and I hope I succeeded, was the fact that they had this intention with the Kingpin system that they felt that they couldn't meet when they originally released it. And I wouldn't be surprised if with the modular Archwings, when it was first announced back in, I want to say TennoCon 2019, right? I think it was the last physical one that was held in London, Ontario. That they've released this stuff for Railjack and things, and it's just made them go, Archwing is not what we originally intended it to be. Archwing is just a glorified transportation system.
I think you got the point
here.
It
really is.
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't have any purpose at all. You barely can. I mean, I know some people say, "Oh, Loz, you should be using the Amisha. The Amisha's amazing," and it's like, but most of the time, you don't even need to use the abilities on the Archwing. I know you can, but maybe they help a little bit. But really, you can just get by without doing them. Just ignore them. And so, what's the point of modularizing that? It's like, oh, you can have this ability and this ability and this ability. I don't use any of them. What's the point? It's just purely cosmetic. So maybe they're going to wait till they can actually redo, because maybe they were trying to do it with Railjack, but Railjack needed more Railjack work, and so the Archwing side of things just fell. They didn't add any content for that side of it, so it just became transport system. Hopefully, maybe in the future there'll be more Archwing stuff, and they'll give the reason to have the Archwing parts be improved. Hopefully.
Thaylien?
Yeah, I agree with that one. It has to be something that actually makes the Archwings a little bit usable outside of just transportation.
But they need content for that first.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the only thing that will make them usable as anything other than transportation is something to use them on. If I had to go with it, I would say the more that they expand what missions can be used in the current Railjack, like survival, like spy, all these other things, I think the more ways we need to be able to get there, more requirements that could be. No, I say requirements. Wrong word. More things you can do in the Railjack missions that lead into these other missions.
More options.
Yeah, more options. So you mentioned that you want to see the return of the stealthy Archwing. Yeah. So what's stopping them from doing anything that actually says, yep, you've spawned the Railjack mission, here's your Railjack doing a few things, but wait, now your Railjack is going to compromise the mission. If you keep going, you need to go in a little bit smaller, and you have to go to Archwing, perform some tasks, and that's the other side of things. Is there does need to be missions that are done that do not focus on the core, because the Grineer ones have missions that are pure Railjack. The Corpus ones don't have that anymore.
No.
So maybe the missions that are pure Railjack would have stages that need to be done in Archwing.
Yes, yeah. So that content becomes Railjack and Archwing content, and then the ones we've got, like the Corpus ones, are Railjack and core content.
I have a question for the both of you.
3.
How would you? It's not a numerical based answer. You're close, but it's true or false. No. Anyway, I just said not numerical. Right.
Fish.
Anyway, how would you guys feel about the Corpus capital ships having an optional secondary mission, right, which requires you to do a Corpus trench run Archwing mission in Railjack first before you could do this other capital ship mission, and that other capital ship mission could give you shit ton of rewards. So in fact, it's like 3 layers deep as opposed to 2.
False.
Does that make sense?
I'm actually with this idea. The idea of a staged mission for Railjack, where you have a thing to get the cruise ships out of the way and clear the fighter squadron off. Then you have to go into Arcwing to do the trench run, which opens up the ship defenses, and then you have a mission in the ship. But it has to be one of the quick missions. It can't be only do that and go in for survival.
I'd also love to squad link that.
Yes, that would be a fantastic one for squad link, because you could come in with a partner railjack, or with a team that's already on the ship, spawns into the ship as if it was a regular mission, and you then have to do these other things on the outside. So they are doing some defense mission, and we're clearing off the fighter cover and the cruise ships in order for the defense objective to be extracted at the end of the mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally down for this. I really like the idea of actually, giving the Arcwing missions this substance which currently just doesn't exist at the moment. I'll be honest, a large part of me says ditch off the whole modular Arcwing. Take the designs of the modular Arcwings and make them proper Arcwings, because right now we don't have enough proper Arcwings or enough to do with them. It just feels like they've got a system and they're trying to make more value out of the system by, let's just pull it to pieces and then allow you to modularly put it back together, like what's the name of the stupid guns? Kit guns or Zors. I'm like, nah, you haven't got enough guns or swords or anything to make that viable. Or sorry, you haven't got enough Arcwings.
I'll give you an alternative angle on this.
Sure.
Look at what D have already done with a system where you can choose which results you want to get out of it. And you've got the Helminth unique abilities.
Yeah.
How many of those do you know that you would actually use in mission?
The only one that I do use is the power strength raw one.
Yeah, give you 50% extra power strength for when you cast your next ability.
Yeah. It's the only one I do use.
There's a few other niche ones. There's the one that pulses out damage based on on you marking an enemy beforehand. That's not great anymore. They nerfed it quite heavily.
Yeah,
gotta nerf those things.
It's usable. There's Sandy will tell you that the Helminth mobility is actually quite good for his racing modes. But other than that,
actually, talking about racing mode, I was thinking to myself, why can't we have, the pursuit Arcwing mission, not the rush one where you have to do the trench run, the pursuit one where you have to go chase that Grenier ship out in road field. Why can't we have something like that in the plains, right? Where you are on your Arcwing and you've got to chase this ship that's flying around the plains. Maybe it's just dropping bombs everywhere and you got to shoot the ship down.
That's a fantastic mode. You could do that for the planes, for the Old Valis. Old Valis is bigger, so you could get away with it more there. Maybe you could call it something like supply intercept or something. So that ship is going to carpet drop supplies to the Corpus troops, and you have to kill it, or you have to go there and shoot the things it drops before they hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. That would work as an in-atmosphere extra mode. And hell, the pursuit mode in Railjack. Why don't we have, rather than a trench run, a race version?
The problem...
You wouldn't have to have it competitive, but you could have it, rather than pursuing a target that you have to destroy, you have to get to a location and destroy another target first.
So I would be fine with this if the acceleration of the Arcwing was, well, the acceleration was on a linear scale, as opposed to just you're either going full out or you're not going at all, right? On a very digital yes no based system. I don't think it works on controllers. I honestly don't know, but unless you can control that speed, the brakes, and things like that, I don't think Arc Queen could really work in that kind of vehicle mindset. But I'm not opposed to that change, right? Whenever I am playing games like, oh god, Cyberpunk 2077 or Grand Theft Auto 5 or whatever, I will use my keyboard and mouse to do all the shooting and whatever, but then I'll use a controller to do the driving, because it is so much easier to control a vehicle with these analog inputs than with the digital. Oh, I'm going full 90 degrees left now. Oh, full 90 degrees right now. You know, I much prefer, and I think Arc Queen could really benefit from a analog acceleration deceleration system.
Yes, it could.
Not quite sure if I was going to sleep.
No, I'm here, just resting my legs. It's tiring standing up for so long. No, I'm with you.
And
you
your eyes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's not like, yeah, it's not like we can tell if you could be asleep right now, Loz, and we have no idea until you don't respond.
If I collapse like this, then you'll know. Yeah, it's like sideways.
We need a set of googly eyes on his Excel. That's what we need.
But they'll always be open. We wouldn't know if he's closed his eyes or not.
Oh no, if he closes his eyes, they vanish.
Oh. But I don't think he's got sensors in his helmet to see if his eyes are open.
That's coming possibly in the next generation.
Are you serious?
Yeah, eye tracking and face tracking are the next things for VR. As part of the helmet. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's insane.
It's interesting because I think because from the people on YouTube that like doing these VR chat pranks and things do seem to have some remarkably mobile faces.
Yeah, one of the headsets has. Well, some of them do is they guess with your talking. The lip syncing's pretty good, but there is one of the helmets which has an attachment which comes down and it scans the bottom half of your face so it can track your mouth better. But eye tracking is something the next generation headset's going to have inbuilt. You know, it's got to be in there, looking at your eyes. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Railjack.
Sorry, no, modular Arcwing.
Yeah. Well,
do you think Arcwing could benefit from a VR mode?
Always needs more things.
Should we go to the replies?
Yeah, sure. Whoop. I can stand up and get back to my reply list. It's here. Okay, first one. No, please, no more modular items. I'm already in hell thinking about the kit guns and Zors I have to make. There is that. I mean, but yeah.
I think if we're gonna have modular Arcwings, we need to be able to build like the full proper thing first before we can deconstruct it into the modular components.
But they'll probably add additional modular bits by themselves.
Yeah, but I just feel like right now, what we have 4 or 5 Arcwings.
Yeah.
Right, compared to the how many hundreds of guns and melee weapons, and like, you know, we're not really at a point where modular Arcwings are warranted.
I think when they showed off the modular thing, it does show you new bits which we don't have yet. In the diagrams
I completely agree. But the whole point is that, like, I just feel it's too soon.
Okay. Next bit is it's on the back burner because they have an issue with the current setup and how it can be transferred to the new system, namely some of the abilities. Originally, players would only play with the Itzel for one reason, Blink. The ability was so good they had to add it to every other Arcwing, a pattern they had to do with the Sentinels and other companions with Vacuum. Now the meta shifted and the Misha is being used exclusively for Watchful Storm. So if they do make modular Arcwings, they must have a defensive ability equal to or better than Watchful Storm. Otherwise, the meta will stick to that alone, ignore all the rest of the options.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but it's the same reason. The same reason to me is why they don't make modular Warframes.
Yeah.
And the closest you will get is the helmet system, where you can put certain abilities onto another warframe, and only one at a time. They'll never let you custom design a warframe yourself with abilities you choose, because it will just be X defense ability, X CC ability, X damage ability, and Y healing ability. That's all it will be. There won't be any variants. There'll be just these people running around with the exact meta warframe.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think there'll be like 2 or 3 meta warframes, but there'll be teams of just those, yeah. The next reply is, if Railjack is where they want all Arcwing content to eventually go, then I would choose to build the Arcwing that gives me the entire kit of the original Amisha anyway. Yeah, so you just build an Amisha, yeah. If they ever go
that thing they said, didn't they? Sorry, they did say that if you when they switch over to this system, what players will receive is a fully built modular Arcwing that contains all the functions of, an Itzal or an Amisha at base. So they swap it over to that. So they're not just like taking away your regular Arcwings. They'll give you one that has these functions.
Oh yeah.
Based on the modular system instead.
Yes, yeah. It'll look like it'll be an Amisha. It won't even look like an Amisha. It'll probably act like an Amisha, but it'll just be a modular put together Amisha. Yeah. The next one is, if they ever go through with this, the only way I could see it working is parts being swapped out on the fly, kind of like Railjack parts.
No, I can see it working.
We've already got kick guns and kick wet melee, so no.
I mean,
it's same system as scores.
Like the only reason why it would work like Railjack is if you can't have more than one Arcwing, right?
Yes.
But that's already proven that you can, and like the reason why you would want this is because you want to get to the best thing as fast as possible. So, yeah, no, I feel that comment is more in line with looking for the optimal build more than anything else.
Okay. The next point has a Tobiah note that says, this is an actual comment, not DE. And it's, DE. Oh shit, we thought no one remember that. Okay.
Yeah, it's it's like me. So it was like no one, absolutely no one, me, and then doing a thing with that kind of meme.
I think at this point, you know that people have very long memories. People don't forget stuff.
Yeah, but I just don't see how the modular Arcwing fits in the current direction that the game's going in right now. They need to find a place to put it in, and it's like until Railjack is really fully fleshed out, this is definitely not happening anytime soon.
Yep. And I think the last 2 points exemplify this. So next one is, honestly, they may as well scrap it. I understand the intent behind it, but after a few days, the community will find the most optimized selection of parts, share it, and bam, everything else is wasted. Because if this leads to Amisha being reworked / removed, or has some of its abilities added to certain parts, or they give this system the same treatment as Railjack's and turn the abilities into mods.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. And then just the final content, because it's final point, because it's so short, is they would need good content for them to go in, honestly. And that's a fair point.
That's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I really think that if there was a secondary mission on so you got your Corpus capital ship, you come in, and then you have two. So you disable the capital ship, and you have two options. You can either do the normal mission, right? Be it an exterminate or whatever, or you could go do the core bench run, and then at the end of it, a capture, right? I think that is realistically the best way to integrate the two together. And then LOZ turn into some diamonds.
Why not use the system they've already got with the point of interest system? Xeno. They've got the points of interest. They've got these points of interest on the map. Why not make them, instead of being a separate thing off over there in the corner, you do the trench run to get the point of interest rewards?
You could do that as well. I think there is value, though, in having the a very specific focused mission, which is for Arcwing. So like the Corpus Trench runs, they could do different things, like the great they have the way that they can combine the tiles and stuff with the Arcwing missions that they couldn't do with the points of interest. The points of interest are predefined, static map layouts, right? So there's a place for both.
Yeah, and the more options, the better.
Yeah. And I think if those options were there, it would certainly incentivize players to actually do Arcwing more. And I would be interested to see like how many people. So if you're given an option, right? So you've got 3 options in front of you. You've got Corpus straight into regular mission. Sorry, Corpus Railjack straight into regular mission. Corpus Railjack into Arcwing into regular mission, or Corpus Railjack where you've got both paths. I wonder how many players would actually, how players would interact with it. Would players turn up, find out that there's an Arcwing side to it, and then just abandon it, or what?
Not if there was a choice. So you have the mission type becomes, defense versus trench run.
I get where you're coming from, but I think there's some value in making it a blind box, because I think
that's where the bonus objective thing comes in. So you could go in for the defense thing, but if there's the optional thing, taking that as an optional Arcwing thing leads you to the other option, leads you to the other outcome.
I do get where you're coming from, but part of the problem I feel with Arcwing right now, part of the reason why it's getting cut from the main body of content, is no one plays Arcwing, right? No one likes the state of Arcwing that it's in right now, but no one has a solution on how to make it better. I remember when originally it came out, there was no 6 degrees of freedom, and then there was at least a general consensus: bring in 6 degrees of freedom. They did that, and then there was a small general consensus: take out 6 degrees of freedom.
Well, 6 degrees of freedom was great, but it was that they built maps based on their original movement system, and they added this new movement system which wasn't working well with the bloody maps. All they needed to do was just scale up the maps by like 50% to allow for the turns and things, which you couldn't pull as much in the 60 degree freedom mode. But they didn't. They were just like, oh, people complaining now, we must remove this. It's like, no, it was really good. I loved it. 60 degree freedom, when that went, I was so sad. And then like, oh, we're not adding it in. Like, and so there was no content. It worked really well on the big open maps where you could fly around. You could fly underneath, weaving, and then come around behind some mobs and things. The problem was there was no content for it, and there was few maps that would utilize it well. That was the problem. And then they took it out because people whinged. I do think that an analog acceleration and deceleration system for Arcwing would also cater well to, oh, I can't make this turn, I'm too fast, I'm taking it too wide. Slow down. Well, I mean, to be fair, I say slow down all the time, but people don't want to slow down. The other thing is the Corpus Trench Run map, which is the big problem for it, right? Is that they didn't design it to be... it is designed to have traps on all the turns, to have like jagged things that stick out. When you're going down pipes, there's loads of things you can hit your face on. The Trench Run, the sci-fi Trench Run, was the Death Star Trench Run was the first one, and that was literally just a rectangle. There was just turrets and things. I know games have made it a few like turns and things, but it still was very straightforward. And then when D decides to implement it, they're like, oh no, we've got to have like tight boxes for you to squeeze through. And then you go into a tube, which you're trying to go down the middle, but if you hit anything around the edge, there's just empty pocket of space things to get caught on everywhere. It was a mess. If it was more tight and streamlined, it's what it should have been, like tight tubes that you don't, if you just bang forwards. You don't just go bang, oh no, I have to come back out of that pocket I've just fallen into the middle of this tube and then reorientate, and oh no, I've banged my face into something else. It was a mess. It was awful. Too tiny, too small. And then they were like, oh, well, it's hard to do it on that system. Then you could have both systems. And they went, oh, we'll just take rid of 60 to freeze them. It's like, probably, and they probably were like, oh, which are most people using? Oh, the one that's by default. It's because you didn't tell people it was in there. There was no reason to use it. It was really good. I loved it.
Yeah. No, I much prefer the 6 degrees of freedom.
Yeah, which the Railjack has.
Here's a question. Would these missions not be improved instead by removing completely the degrees of freedom, using a fixed camera and doing a trench run where you're actually avoiding obstacles?
As a mini game, yeah, that could also work.
Well, say as a mini game, but where you have, because
Rail
these things
style,
almost Star Fox.
Rail shooter.
Space Harrier, I think, is the. Oh, maybe actually Star Fox is a good one. Yeah. Star Fox is a good one. But yeah. That could work, but I think it was more the map than the movement system. But they are the movement system instead of even thinking about, oh, let's add content, let's have a map. And instead, the only piece of content we got was that stupid defense map, which was half-baked. The perfect example of half-baked content. I don't mean to be mean about it, but it really was. Getting annoyed now. Angry. We should finish. Before we get angry. Become a gorilla for some reason. I don't know why.
But my point is, but before Loz devolves into Excalibur Primate, the okay,
you get a point.
Okay. Anyway, my point is, because there's a choice to avoid doing art, because you've got the information beforehand, I think people are just going to, no, I'm just going to skip that. I don't want to do that one. I think if it's a blind box, if you go in, you've half committed to the mission, and then you've got the choice of either doing Arcwing or, abandoning the mission, that would really tell DE a lot of information on, how people are receiving it. And then they could really knuckle down. They could, get to brass tacks and find out what is it that is turning people off from doing these Arcwing additions to Railjack, these Arcwing trench runs. Is it the whole hitting the objects and things like? But right now, because there is such a mass,
there's a mass of variables, is what it possibly could be, that turns people off. And until they get more people doing it, they won't be able to figure out what it is it needs, and they won't do that until they know what it is. So it's a catch-22. So you're right. Committing people into a mission where they're already most of the way through the mission, they've gotten some rewards or whatever. It's like, oh, fine, I'll just do the small Arcwing content and move forwards. Rather than if people know from the start, oh, it's an Arcwing one, quit. Or if they're trying to, if you see on the Rift, Arcwing Rift, they'll be like, no, I'm just gonna skip that and wait an hour for it to disappear and do the next one. I know what you mean by that. Yeah.
Anyway, there's a thought. When you say narrow the data down, why not have a particular mission have a particular award, one that's say a new weapon that players will want and have to grind, and that mission has a 50-50 chance of being an Arcwing or a regular mission. See how many people complain or how many people quit that mission.
That's literally what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just narrow it down to just one mission that they release that has this function.
Yeah. But I feel that it will be really interesting if people would rather go, oh no, it might be a case of people the reason why they quit out is because the Arcwing side of it actually takes longer than doing the defense side. I mean, logic would say that's not the case, but you would be able to see people say this, right? You would have content creators say, don't bother doing the Arcwing one, do the defense one. Right? The defense one is actually quicker. They get that information. They're like, right, we can now make the Arcwing one faster. We have information now. But if people don't, if it's an option, people will avoid it, and then they've got nothing to work from.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they're already stuck in that rut. Anyway, that's it. Let's round off that. So yeah, hopefully Modular Arcwing will happen at some point. Maybe not. Content comes first. I think that we'll agree on that. Let us round this off, Xeno.
Right, that's it for the topics. Let's move on to the graphs. I think that says 205. 205. Let's go.
I've got 205.55. Yeah.
Cool. Right. So, oops. Yeah. So we're on to the graphs. Hit the first graph, Batman. Right. So first graph for today. Is farming 4+ hours for a single Warframe part a problem?
Wow.
46% people say yes. 54% say no.
Shocked by that.
Loz, where do you fall into this?
I think 4+ hours seems a bit much for a single part, but then no, yeah, I mean no. I'm sorry. I mean yes, that does seem a bit too much for a problem.
Really?
Yeah, well, you need 3 parts. That's 12 hours of play. 12 hours of play to get the parts.
Well, no. That's not no. For one part is 4+ hours, right?
Yeah, is farming 4+ hours for a single Warframe part?
No, you more than likely. This is off the back of the fact that this guy complained, saying that it took 4+ hours.
Oh, right. So you're saying
to
you're
get
getting
the
the other
rare
parts,
part.
just that's the last part. So that's the thing. You need to reword that. Then it's like, is farming 4+ hours to get all the parts for a Warframe a problem? No, see, yeah, 4 hours. I think that's fine. I still think that's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
Thaylien?
yeah.
Well, yes, actually, because this is how the pads the game a little bit. Is that the RNG is true RNG, and so your odds of success of getting the rarer parts are literally what pushes out your gameplay time.
So yes, this is a problem, or no, it's not.
I don't think it's a problem.
Okay.
But I also think it vastly depends on which mission you're running for your things. 4 hours of running a capture, no. 4 hours of
this was ambulance.
Yeah, 4 hours of running ambulance only works out at 16, 17 runs. So he was actually rather lucky if he got it that early.
I think the average was worked out at 6.5 hours to get really high chance of getting it.
That's specifically because of how long ambulance fights are.
Yeah.
So one mission being that long is pushing that.
Yeah.
So his actual mathematical success was actually way above average for the odds of getting that part.
I think Loz is thinking about this.
I was looking at how bad Africa looks scarred in the Warframe model.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. Fine.
Not
Fine.
very nice.
All I'm gonna say is 7 months for a fucking flail. That's all I'm gonna fucking say.
Warframe never made you do that though. Right. Anyway, moving on to Graph 2.
Basically, I have no problem with it. Graph 2. Which boss fight is the worst for keeping you waiting? Right. I put all the bosses on here, and these were the only 5 that got voted on.
Interesting. What we got?
Yeah. So 8% for Let Krill and Ropodopolist.
Mm-hmm.
15% for Lephantis.
Yeah.
31% for Vayhek.
Yeah.
And 38% for Ambulance.
I really think I'm going to have to give this Ambulance one another go just to see.
Go.
Yeah.
I completely agree with this graph in all but one sense.
Go on.
The reason that I don't agree with is the Ropolist.
Yeah.
Because the Ropolist doesn't keep you waiting. The Ropolist just has to be timed. You do X, then Y, then Z.
Yeah.
So I can clear the Ropolist solo in moments.
Yeah.
Because so it doesn't keep me waiting in the slightest. The longest part of it is listening to them talking beforehand.
Well,
so I'm not sure why people voted it as keeping you waiting.
Unless it's massively changed. The 2 that I'm surprised that are not on here. Actually, I'm going to see if you can guess which 2 I'm surprised are not on here.
Sargus Rock.
That is one of them.
Kill the Thumb?
Killer
the Thame. That's the other one. I'm surprised that those 2 are not on here, because I would have voted for either of those. Probably Caleb the Thame. Right? Just for the sheer volume of waiting for her to turn up, just to get a smack around the face for all of half a second, for then to her for bugger off, and then we wait 3 million years for her to do her aerial bombardments. Yeah. Oh look,
yeah.
rotary phones.
I think it's because on those two, the damage is so easy to deal. You only have, I think it's 20 seconds between of missiles if you have 4 people getting their targets right on the shoot target bits.
Yeah, I can't remember if you solo it. Do you only have one target to deal with? I think you do.
No, it depends on what level. If you're on Steel Path, you've got 3 or 4, I think.
Right.
If you solo it, I'm not sure if it's lower because I haven't done that solo for a while.
Okay.
So
I mean, like 3 rotary. Sorry, I mean the number of rotary encoders, not the number of rounds.
Oh no, it's the same number of rotary encoders, before, regardless of which, whether you do it solo or not.
Okay.
It's getting into the arena only uses 1 if you're solo, or 2 if you're.
Okay.
You
got to do 4 regardless.
That scales off the thing, but between the waves, you've got to do 4.
Yeah, if you're solo, Caleb the Thame sucks. Anyway, who would you guys vote for?
LOZ is actually asleep now.
No, I'm thinking. No, I'm here. Sorry, my legs are going. They really are.
It's because you flopped your head over in exactly the same position. You said, "Look out for that." If I'm going to be,
did I? Oh, yeah. No, I'm trying to lean into the picture as well. I mean, I'll just squeeze this chair back in a bit and just shot. There we go. Okay, should be a better shot now. I was tempted to move my camera down, but I'll just sit here for a bit.
I never thought in all of my Warframe history I'd see a Excalibur scooching his chair across.
Anyway, LOZ, who would you? Pick any boss.
I think Vahek. I hate Vahek. I hate because you just have to sit and wait and stare, and there's nothing else to do. Maybe kill some Grineer. I hate Vahek. Vahek for me because you feel it so much more. But I don't know. But I'm saying I need to give Ambulus another go. So
Thaylien?
It's a tie for me between Ambulus and I just had it a minute ago. Hang on. I've just literally derped on the name.
Describe it. Can you describe it?
I can when I'm not typing.
Are you going to describe it? No.
No.
Do you want me to pause?
No. I'm trying to. Oh, Mutilus Advi.
Oh.
I know that there's ways to get Mutilus Advi really quickly if you have like an opticore.
I think snipers these days could also do good jobs with it. Yeah.
That's what an opticore is, isn't it? Big sniper.
No.
I thought an opticore counted as a sniper.
No.
It uses sniper ammo. That doesn't count as a sniper.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. It uses rifle ammo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but it's sort of like a gun bow, I think is what it counts as.
Charge shot. Still, no. Mutilus Advi, because you only have 1 instance of damage, and if it's not enough, you have to go for the entire other round. Right, unlike all the others, Vahek and Kayla, you have a damage cap that you have to hit before you can go before they go to the next stage.
Yeah.
So you can hit that damage cap. You can always hit that damage cap between for the round. That always happens, and then it's just a matter of reducing the time.
Yeah.
But when you've got a single instance of damage hit that you can deal, it doesn't matter if you've not done it right. You've not done it right.
Yep. Let's move on to the next one, number 3. Should the Ambulus encounter be reworked after the first encounter? 8% said no. 17% said yes. 1, 2, 3. 33% said that they didn't care, and 42% said yes. 2, 3. Does that add up?
The main one doesn't add up.
The main one?
So the current one gives you an extra Ambulus anyway. So that you can technically
No. I'm talking about the percentages. Does that add up to 100%? I don't think that does. That doesn't add up to 100%, does it?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I get that. There's one which has 6, and then there's one which has 5. But I mean, the main one right now only has 5. Even so, it's just like, you know, it will dramatically reduce the amount of time on Ambulance, and I can get behind this. Like, horrible waiting phases is just no one can deny that the Exploiter is still the best boss fight.
Yes.
She is, mostly
with that.
because of her voice lines.
Yep.
Ah.
The next question, number 4, is do the operator mid-mission dialogues need to be redone?
Yes.
38% said they didn't care, and 62% said yes. So no one said no.
I agree.
Yep. And then the last one is, do you feel DE has gotten lazy with their story writing? 8% said that they didn't care, 23% said no, and 69% said yes. I do actually have some responses as to what they were, what people thought. I mean, do you want me to go over any of them, or do you want me to just?
Is there any big ones that you think are interesting?
What caught your eye?
I think more lore outside of the Tenno, but in the same universe would be good. They used to build mysteries, but also build the new world at the same time. Now it seems that they only give us the most superficial world building. And spend a lot of the time building mysteries and suspense. Add on top of the sheer amount of time it takes to get that much, to even get that much, it feels like they're not even trying.
It does feel like there's a lot of surface stuff.
Yeah.
World building is only surface deep. It's the same as when you think about it, the gameplay side of things.
And
Vast as an ocean, deep as a puddle.
Do you mean wide as an ocean?
Vast.
Okay, right. And then a couple of the no's, which is, I don't think they've gotten lazy. I just think there are too many other things that they want to do, and our expectations of them have increased over the years, but they really haven't changed as much as we think they have. So that was some of the no's.
I don't know. I think there is some complete narrative breakdown in production for narrative stuff. It's always been a very slow process for the lore stuff. Even when they try and come up with every time they try and come up with a new way of adding fresh, small injections of lore into the game, they either scope creep it or it just dies a death. We had the Sanctuary with the Sanctuary targets. We had the tactical alerts, which were supposed to come with little snippets of lore. Again, so that the Sanctuary targets just stopped all of a sudden. It took longer and longer for them to get the lore out for the next one ready, and everyone was chomping at the bit to do them. Everyone loved it, wanted to see what the next thing was, and they just stopped doing them. They just took longer and longer, so they stopped. Then the the tactical alert just became an event thing they do at seasonal events. And it's like, oh, it's a tactical alert. It's like, no, they were supposed to be like small snippets of lore. The first one had like a little bit lore snippet. Even just when it's like, you know, it's a whole ship of the Manics, and you have to deal with them. Manics, that was just a little bit of a lore, just simple snippet. There you go. Then their third attempt was the Night Waves, which apparently Night Waves are now going to be scaled back and just really simple and just sort of like a do stuff each week thing with Nora Knight, because it seems to scope creep. Even just producing a small story of there was an Orokin who was a judge guy who used to put people in glass, and you just have to, each event is just there is somebody who's glassed and there's a few items around to find it and a few voice lines, apparently is massively taxing on their ability to produce content. They can do literally one of those a year.
Don't forget the boss battle.
I think that's a functional point. I mean, lore-wise, I think it's the lore. It's the lore that they say it's getting scaled back. I mean, they didn't have to put that boss fight in the Night Wave. They could have had him chased off, and then the boss fight could have been could be coming soon, sort of thing. You know, you scare him off for now. You confront him and scare him off, and then it's like, oh, we'll have to deal with him at some point. Just leave it at that. If it was the boss fight itself, which was the issue, but no, in the last dev stream, in fact, I think it's in the notes, they have said that future Night Waves will be more basic and not lore heavy, because apparently just there's a Grenier guy and there's people being experimented on and you're just going around being nasty is very hard for them to write.
See, like, but I don't know if that does count as lore heavy, right?
It seems to be for DA. I really don't mean here.
I don't think that the only time will tell, but I don't think the Wolf of Saturn 6 and the was it the Ambassador? What was the second one called?
Emissary.
The Emissary, thank you. I don't think those two were particularly lore heavy, right? Because they were just set dioramas. There was nothing particular. But I think that they totally bit off more than they could chew with the third one, which was Glassmaker. But yes, Glassmaker? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I think they bit off way more than they could chew. And it was just like, oh. And I think, if anything, we're just going to go back to the original two, where it's just diorama after diorama.
Well, think about it. With Glassmaker, they actually made that whole... The dioramas, yes, they made for the sweeps, but they made unique assets for those with the different data pads and things you picked up. They made...
I can't believe, unless the way that those
they
objects
also
are built.
made those particular missions where you then chase down the thing to find his little remnant or whatever it was, find a little node through the thing that you memorize stuff for. That's a whole separate level that they've made.
So,
yeah, but they could have dropped that little bit if that was,
they could have dropped it. That's what I say. They just, as you say, scope creeped. Yeah. So they actually they did bite off more than they should chew on that one.
I do feel that with things like Warframe, that there is a huge, but the engine was never built to accommodate this, right, factor. That a lot of people just seem to, we didn't realize this. Like, Loz, get the watch ready. I'm little story time with Xeno here, right? So one of the projects that I do for my job, I have to upgrade a website from a version of PHP that came out in 2014, right? I put it onto one that came out a year ago or 2 years ago. It just flat out breaks. And there's no error logs, there's no error messages, there's no nothing to elaborate as to why it's broken. I've spent 6 hours trying to work out why it's broken. There should be no reason for it. So I can easily envision systems like this where they've got the whole interactive diorama where you got to walk around. Like, I can easily envision their developers go like, but the game engine was never developed to do this. And it may have been a monumental piece of work just to get that thing to have these scripted events, to interact with a pair of handcuffs on a wall. Which is stuff that they want to avoid doing.
Oh, yeah, that definitely could be part of the problem, yeah. Hard to say. Hard to say, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're done with the graphs. So I don't know if you want to turn off the graph.
Graphs off. Okay. I've regained some energy. Let's go. All right, what we got here?
It's the supporter questions.
Yes.
You've gained some standing powers.
I am standing. I've regained my energons. Right, moving on. First, we have Zrugel. Before we start the supporter questions, I'm going to ask everyone to make sure you've subscribed to the channel, like the video, and share it if you can. It really does help. Thank you, Zrugel. Zrugel asks, Xeno, do you happen to know what percentage of the audience, people who watch the show, are subscribed? That is in the analytics somewhere.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'll have a look at the last one.
Bing.
Shall I actually look at the topic episode, or shall I look at the main one?
Main one. I think the main one, yeah.
Main one. It
Thaylien.
is...
Well, while Xeno's looking that up, Thaylien, what is this? These squiggly lines?
These are my questions.
No, these squiggly lines. Is that supposed to be... Oh, it says Thaylien.
It does.
Right. You got that number, Xeno?
Yes. So, 92.8% are subscribed.
Wow.
Oh, Nike.
Yeah, no, it's because YouTube doesn't share it with anyone that isn't subscribed.
Right. Yes. That's
However,
the
for all of you that are not subscribed, please try and make this 100%, because this would be epic if we could reach over 99%. We're not that far off. Do it. Do it now.
Have a look at the smaller topic-based episodes. Audience.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yes.
89.2%.
What was that?
Subscribed. 89.2%.
That's less.
Yeah, ever so slightly.
I know, but that's interesting.
But
So the people who are getting
reaching-
shown that is more likely to not be a subscriber than the main episode.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
Interesting.
but YouTube
Very
hates
interesting.
YouTube hates us. Yeah, it's true. Right. Thaylien, with strange griggly lighting, says, with the Super Kuwaii Arelli coming soon, why does Grendel's very deep and manly ooh sound effect now appear to not be very coincidental? Is it a sign that D is truly embracing their weeaboo roots? I mean, Excal is a katana-wielding space ninja with an edgy backstory. You can't get more weeaboo than that. No,
I was going to say yes.
yeah. But
Yes,
even weeaboo can be grimdark. Just remember, doesn't need to be, right, also, Thaylien says, we see many diverse personality types in the dystopian future of Warframe. We see many of the worst ones in the history of the Warframe universe too. If you could take a stereotypical personality type from the modern day and insert a character based on it into the Warframe universe, what would it be, and what would that character's role be? I'm hoping to be able to tell a Corpus Karen sister that I'm not just the manager, I'm the owner of this railjack, and she's banned for life. Yeah.
Oh god, I don't know. This is such a complicated question.
Would you like to slap a neckbeard?
Slap a neckbeard.
Oh yes, the Mr. Nice Guy with the with the.
Is Elon Musk a personality type?
Oh, like the super rich wannabe Tony Stark, but failing because you're a douchebag?
Yeah, I want that, but evil. And like, you could say that like, oh, that's Aladvi. No. Aladvi is failure incarnate. Just failure. Right? This guy would be brilliant and successful and do evil things to us. And
like
he would spit on Alad.
I want... Oh god. Is there any really super famous flat earthers?
Well, it's
no
stereotype. You don't need to. You don't.
Would
Yeah.
be yes. I
Okay,
like
fine.
this where this is going.
I want someone that is like so super stupid that believes in something that is just quite clearly not the fucking case. Things like how,
like, I don't know, the Sentients are the return of the divine god creator of everyone, and we must appease them through killing everyone else and sacrifice them their flesh to.
It's kind of System Shock that I can't remember the name of the leader of New Loka, but like the real shock to the system that the leader of New Loka got when she found out that what the
oh yes, that Sylvana was an Orokin, not a
yes.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what the fuck have I been worshipping all this time?
God is a lie.
Yeah. I want like someone that is like so Jesus, how can you be so stupid? Levels of like flat earthers, and we tried to sketch the Earth, but every single time we got too far, people like disappeared over the horizon.
There we go. Right. Well, that's it for the sports questions.
Lots just face palmed.
I was face palming earlier.
The whole return of the Orokin, because the Tenno destruction of them was a inside a plot, and the Orokin are secretly going to make their return in August. Be reinstated.
Loz.
Yeah?
Orokin blood cures cancer.
No. No.
Sorry, everyone. Horrible in joke.
Well,
I'm
actually,
really sorry.
technically, we kind of had that with the emissary quest. Infested,
What? Infested
Well, that was-
blood cures cancer.
because that's the thing, is that's what it was doing. It was
The
actually
cult
curing
thing.
Oh
people.
god, yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
This non-infested boy, totally non-infested boy, but with a gigantic tentacle that comes out his face at the end.
yeah. Anyway, sorry. Let's move on to what we got next. The
Oh no, it's
community
actually the
responses.
community responses. So, firstly, I always try and do on these. It's one from the satellite episodes. So, Toby Ben, I finally found a Warframe theme podcast with people I can stand listening to for more than 20 minutes. Thank you guys, keep it up.
Oh,
Now, I don't know how many other
Aw.
Warframe theme podcasts you've found. I mean, the only one we know I really can think of is Cephalon Squared. They're a couple of lovely chaps. We have them on. They're really good fun. But if you're really enjoying our content, please stay around. We've been doing this for a long time. I do apologise. I've lost a bit of energy. It's very tiring today. But normally got a bit more vim and vigour in me. But yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, if you're enjoying it, we just keep producing the same stuff. So yeah, we talk about stuff in the community. Hey, and if you want to interact, let us. You got any topics you want to bring to our attention? Find something on the Reddit, on the forums, send it to us. You know, we'll look into it.
yeah. We talk about whatever the community is talking about, and can you reply to them in?
I will. I did the last one, but they didn't reply back to me as well. But I will do that for the satellite episode. Yep.
I think the big thing is that we don't know if they come from the satellite episode to the main episode.
Yes, yeah, it's better to engage with people. Okay, next one is Nazoth. So first of all, it's something that I said from the last episode. So Loz, are you telling me I have a pile of cadavers I'm using to build my warframes? I was so excited. Like, dear Loz, what do you think is in those warframe cryopods and defense missions? Yes, yes, we use them for spare parts. Moving on.
Grimdark.
Benjamin
Now all they have to do is
Smarridge.
shut off the lights.
Benjamin Sarah says, I love that Loki skin, but I don't have the money for Twitch Prime. And yet, sadly, I mean, I don't think we've got... There's no giveaway on this one, is there? We can't give that one away.
Unfortunately.
So yes, it's all right, but yeah, you got to get Twitch Prime. It's the only way of doing it.
No, we can't.
Autoria Faith, the art at the start threw me for a loop as I had to double check I was still at the beginning, not at the end. Damn you for that, Xeno.
Well, no, I mean, it was requested by an artist at one point. Could you actually show off some of my stuff at the start? And I took it forward, and so when we actually have,
I also want to say that we are going to be doing this format more for artists and things going on, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep. So just get used to it.
Nick, even I have Warframe art.
You do?
And Xeno didn't put it at the thing.
I don't know what he's talking about.
And lastly, I'm going to get this one. I apologize. Joseph Grospner.
Please tell us how you pronounce your name.
Love to hear you also watch Shad's Shenanigans. Yes, Shadiversity is an amazing YouTube channel. If you do not know what it is, you should watch it. He is an amazing chap, good to watch, and you'll learn some things as well. Very good chap.
Who?
Shadiversity. He does like medieval weapons and things. It's hilarious. He does a whole back and forth on videos about how nunchucks are the most stupidest thing in the world.
Oh,
you've ruined a good stick. It's brilliant.
Crap! Was that the channel that showed how to use bows properly?
Probably, maybe.
Because like
there's a few
all
things
the
like
depictions of bows had the archers hold arrows between their fingers.
I know what you mean. There's one where they hold it in the other hand or something, and they fire rapidly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, it's not that. I think you might have talked about it, but no, Shadiversity is a great channel. Yeah, great channel.
Okay.
Yes. So that's it for the comments from last episode, and so we'll move on to the memes.
Oh, but I'm. Wait, did you say Shadowversity?
No, Shad, as in SAD, R, and then I, Versity, Shadiversity.
Shadiversity.
He's an Australian chap. He loves weapons, and everyone knows like what's good weapons, bad weapons, would things work. I think he makes like a mock-up of Excalibur, of Sephiroth's katana to be like, could this work and things like that.
God, that can't possibly work.
I think he said there were things it could do.
You've turned on a meme.
I have turned on a meme. We've got memes on, haven't we?
Oh, but yeah, well, I haven't actually sent them to Thaylien yet. Okay. Okay, I haven't actually written down the time yet.
Someone has the one jobs.
But I was looking for Shadiversity.
I will remind you later. It's a good channel.
The funny
Good
one
channel.
with Shad was that he actually backtracked on his thing for the Buster Sword.
Oh, did he?
You know, Cloud's Buster Sword. Yeah, he said that even if you were strong enough, because your mass isn't high enough, you can't actually swing the sword properly.
Yes.
But somebody went to all the trouble of building an arm assistant thing, you know, one of those supporter arms for like heavy weapons, and did that actually would hold part of the weight of the sword.
Yeah.
And he was there swinging it, and he could actually do proper sword swings, even with his incredibly light body.
Wow. There you go.
So it was,
Yeah,
it was really surprising. So he went back on that and actually used that new information to give a correct assessment of what he thought the Buster Sword would be like. Or
he's a proper nice chap. I mean, you would anyway. He's the kind of person you'd love to have as a friend. I think, you know, he's not full of himself. You know. He would
oh yes. Have you seen him trying to go barrel riding?
Yes, I was going to mention the barrel riding is very good. And shopping. Do you see the shopping one?
Yes.
Go to the shop. Look at them. Look at this chair. It's so good. Anyway, moving on. Yes.
Hold on. Loz, I think you put the wrong. I think you put last week's memes in here.
I checked them.
In the
no. In Google Drive, sorry, in Dropbox, I think they're fine. But in the Google Doc, I don't. I think these are last week's memes. Pause. Just hit pause.
Okay. Technical error corrected. Back to memes. Right.
Yep.
Okay. So meme number 1. You got that?
Yep.
Good. Okay, meme number 1. Why can't you just give it to me? Get away, Lotus, you carrier of sentient destruction. I also carry gifts from the Lotus. Oh, it's 10 rounds of defense. God damn it!
Oh, it's awesome.
Meme number 2, a meme to address my my own personal biases, because I've never really had a problem with master rank and weapons, but I imagine most other players can. So hashtag, oh god, what real Quello moments? Quello moments? Okay.
Yeah,
Me.
Real Quello moments.
Seize a cool gun. Master rank. I'm going to stop you right there. I mean, have you guys ever had a problem with master rank and guns?
No, but the thing is, like, we grandfathered.
Yeah, exactly.
All this.
Yeah, I know. So I imagine for some people that must be very topical. Very topical. So moving on to meme number 3.
Yeah.
The work is finally done. What gives people feelings of power? Money? Status? A potato on every frame. Yes, that is when the true power is unlocked.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Hands. Oh, there we go.
This is one of my favourite ones.
It's not going to be for the better. Melee nerfs. I'm going to change the world. Players. For the better, right? Melee nerfs. Players. For the better, right?
Nice. The prequel meme.
Meme number 5. Painfully true. Warframe YouTuber. This build is easy to replicate. The build. Now,
Prime short-footed. Prime continuity, augmentation, constitution.
Yeah. Keep going.
The fact that you can't
see
the chunk of the mods.
No, that's not it.
Also, it's the arcane consequence and arcane acceleration.
No, that's not it.
Hold on.
Oh my god, mod of capacity 10 of 16. What the?
That's one bit, and then the other one?
Net cross, but with... What? 9 former.
Yep. But there's still one thing you haven't been like, how? How is... That's not possible. How? What?
It's the aura down in the shield disruption.
It's the shield disruption in the non-aura slots. Like, yes, just put this mod here.
Oh my god.
Yep. Right.
Wow. It's one of those things that the longer you look, the worse it gets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, just for Drew's thing...
one more thing on that one. You notice what his first ability is?
No?
Necros, the soul punch.
No, but on there's a symbol there that is not Soul Punch.
What is it?
That's Gloom from Severgoth.
Fair enough. Why?
Okay.
That means that's not even that old. I thought it was some really old bug thing. Okay, anyway, and final one, which is Rebecca mentions Warframe body pillows.
Oh my god.
Me and D.
Oh, so for everyone else's benefit, this is actually animated.
This one isn't.
For me it is not on the video. Sorry, not on the stream. It's
on the website.
On the Reddit thing it is.
Is it?
For me it is. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, wow.
Actually,
Okay.
Yeah. But like during the for everyone else, this isn't animated. But yeah.
I'm so glad they have not turned that body pillow around, because we all know what the other side of body pillows are like.
Oh my god.
Right. Well, that is it for the memes this week. So, time to move on to Xeno's community.
Don't forget
shoutouts.
about the secret memes.
Oh,
Loz.
yes, no.
You gotta tell everyone where you got these memes from and about the secret memes.
Yeah, very good. See, somebody's on the ball. I'm not at all. So, yes, all of these memes come from the r/memeframe subreddit. Just like earlier, we heard that the main subreddit has got, what, 500,000 subs? Let's have a look at memeframe subreddit. The memeframe's only on 61.8k members. Wouldn't it be great if that could get up to 100k? And really, everyone embraced the Warframe meme. So please go to the r/memeframe subreddit, and you'll... Oh god, there's a new meme, and it's really good. Okay, damn it, I didn't get that. Let's just come up. Anyway, so yes, do go on there, go check out some memes. But also, there are some video memes, which I'm not able to show because they actually have stuff in them, because we're just showing stills. So there is the secret meme of the week, which is 2 this week. There's 2 links, but they're kind of the same video, and they're just right next to each other. If they were together, they'd make one lovely, nice long video. Do check those out as well. It'll take you straight to the subreddit, and then you can look at memes all day long. It's amazing. Right, yes, that is it. And now we move on to the community shoutouts.
Yep. You're going to do the community shoutouts now.
Yeah, there's number 1.
This is a bit... well, I haven't sent them on to Thaylien yet. Why are you getting all that flashes?
Don't worry, I've got them from the document. And I've been looking at the
oh
potato.
my god, you're on the bloody document as well. Oh, freaking hell, I completely forgot that you're in the document.
Right. I'm looking at a potato with a doctorate. And I'm like, yeah, this person is a genius.
Yes. Right, so the first community shout out is Corgi Kubro by Nello.
No, as you know, like this one.
Look at the faces. Look at the faces.
Yeah, look at the faces. The face is so cute. Laughing. He's a little... Oh, you're a little lad. You're a good little boy.
Like I said, top left is a doctorate. Dog-terate.
Don't get it.
Doctor, he's got a doctorate.
Oh, doctorate. Get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. I understand now. I don't have a doctorate, so I couldn't understand that. Right, the second community shout out. This was actually linked to me by people on Twitter. Like, how could you not think? I do not know of anything that Hannah515 does. This is Oberon by Hannah515.
Did you pay for this?
Huh?
Did you pay for this?
It is.
I did not pay for this. But
Fairly stunning.
the one thing I really like about this is the fact that it's the Triarch skin, but has the tabard crotch cape. And like I would like that if that was an auxiliary attachment to Oberon.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah. It does enhance it. Yeah. That is a lovely.
Look at that. Look at that. The neck horns. The ones, the auxiliary ones at either side of the head as well.
Yeah.
That's just. I wish I could render half as well as this.
This is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Right. Now wait for the tirade of this. The third community shout out is Ureli by Yuki.
Ureli, I love her design so much, I just had to draw her. Right, there's 2 pictures here. One is Ureli doing the heart thing, and the second one is just a heart.
It's for crop. It's for Twitter crop.
What's that?
Twitter crop?
So Twitter will crop off half the content if it doesn't have a second image to balance it out.
I thought they changed that. There's an option now that allows you to have the whole thing.
People are still using this format.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like on the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
right.
To the... Okay.
The fourth community. That's because that's landscape. The fourth community shout out is Ureli humanized by 5 consonants in a row. Uji.
Is Kuwaii game.
Game.
Yeah.
I think we need to roll the R. Is Kuwaii.
I love the hair on this, by the way. The sort of waves in it.
Yeah.
Then is it 5?
The 5th community shout out
Dearie me.
is Ureli Warframe Anime by Zephyr. Like, we haven't seen
Bloody fingers.
Zephyr.
Only bloody fingers could make that bloody heart shape.
Actually, to be fair though, the if you look at the 3D model and things, her fingers are a lot longer.
Yes,
right?
they are actually.
And it like the shape of the heart that she makes is so much more poignant with the in-game hands.
Mm.
And it's just like, geez, right? So, and then last but not least, number 6, Ember and Frost by Lynx SLXS.
There we go.
Oh.
Yep.
Saving us from the Urelis.
Seriously, there were so many more Urelis.
Oh, yes.
So many more. Right. So that is it for the community shoutouts. Loz?
Yes.
Good, sir.
Okay, I've got
Sure,
my outro stop button. Yes, it is. It is. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
So we're just going to sign off the episode now. Before we do that, we get a quote from a film and we change the nouns and the verbs to make it fit the Warframe universe in some weird way. The goal is for the guest and Xeno here to guess this week to guess the film that it came from. So here we go. Now we all know what happens if you get the Janus key. You return it to the Tau system and save the sentience. But if you don't get the Janus key, you have a choice to make. Either travel to the Sol system with the mimic of your dreams, or return to the Tau system to die. You're either a traitor or a messiah. So here's my question. If you don't get the Janus key, will you go back to die?
I know it.
Do you?
I do. Xeno, you get to guess first.
I recognize it. I definitely recognize it. I believe it's post 2000.
Yes, the date is 2003. An animated film.
Animated film. And I'm assuming it's not Disney.
No.
Is it
Fantasy
Fox?
setting.
Oh, fantasy setting. Animated fantasy. Is it 3D or 2D?
2D.
Like CGI.
No, it's hand-drawn sort of.
It's hand-drawn.
2003, man.
2003.
Yeah.
Like, I'm freaking drawing a blank. I'm gonna kick myself. What is it, Thaylien?
It's Sinbad.
Legend of the Seven Seas. Yes, it is. Well done, Thaylien.
This is the best on-screen villain in the world.
Oh, really? I remember it. I know I've seen it, but
This is Eris, the goddess of chaos, and she is animated in the most amazing way. And I believe the quote is, you could take the Book of Peace, go back to Syracuse and save
Proteus.
Save Proteus. But what if you don't get the book? It's either go off to Fiji with a woman of your dreams, or you go back to Syracuse to die. And it's a fantastic little proper Greek god kind of conundrum.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yep.
Right.
And it's just one of those rare animated movies that is just, it hits the right notes in the right places.
Yeah.
It's not spectacular. It's not the best movie I've seen, but it is one I come back to like once every year or so to rewatch it with friends.
Yeah, no, I remember watching it years ago. It's a quality film. It wasn't made like, for the sake of, we just need to make a film, for some budget reason.
Yeah.
There was proper, they wanted to make the best film they could, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll have to give it a watch. I've never seen this.
It's pretty good, yeah. Well, that's the quality entertainment we used to get when we were kids, which we don't get anymore, sadly. Right, yes, that was it. Well done, Thaylien. I'm really amazed by that.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant. God.
Yeah, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
right. Well,
absolutely.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming, listening, and doing all your thing. If you're still here, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you for next time.
With some
Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
What?
We do.
What do I appreciate?
Obviously, Xeno wasn't listening, therefore he can't appreciate it.
What? I've just seen who's next week and who's the guest for next week. Right. Do you want to hit the off button, Loz?
I will. So let's dive
off screen. Yeah. Outro. Yeah.
Hey, I love
names.
Patreon supporters.
Yeah. There was a war between Service Unavailable and the Patreon supporters. And the Patreon supporters, unsurprisingly, they completely kicked Service Unavailable.
Because they had me to lead them.
Yep, they had sheer numbers and Thaylien to lead the charge. He threw hundreds upon hundreds, as if there's that many, patrons at Service Unavailable until the DDoS just ceased to stop breaking and it just started working again. So yeah, it was all thanks to Thaylien that your names are up there.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Welcome to the army of Thaylien.
Can we turn it off now?
I don't know. I have to reach my arm up all the way up to push a button. I think it's about...
There's plenty more rambling we can do.
Aha!
Oh.
No, let's put him out of his misery. There we go. Bye.